way.
Bring me those hides as soon as possible. I won't be able to finish the machine without them. Don't these animals try to keep clean? Some of these are absolutely filthy. Well, guess I better start cleaning them. Not like anyone else has got any spare time around here. Behind the machine that'll save us from the nerubian threat. Take this remote control. Go to the southernmost area of the nerubian sinkholes. Use it to activate the shake and quake. 5,000. There's always a number. Don't be surprised if it attracts the attention of the nerubians, because it totally freaking will. Just a heads up, they're gonna kill you. And once they're done killing you, they're gonna eat you. And once they're done eating you, they're gonna resurrect you in their stomachs. It will be very gross, but it's okay, because you will have no free will. Because, you know, you'll be a slave of the... Anyways. Hey, guys. Okay, fine, I'll get in the sinkhole. No? I can't close this sinkhole. He spent a lot of time iterating Zoan while we were off for like a minute. While I was eating lunch, he was like, no, this one won't work. No, this one won't work. No. And he just kept trying them. It's in my lap. See? It helps me to stay comfortable. Helps my back. Here's the shake and quake. Cocoon. Feeble-minded tinkerer. Do you think your pathetic creation can stop me? Of course I can tell you who Uther is. Uther was the first paladin, one of the old of the Order of Elias, or not Elias, excuse me, Alonsus Foul. He was actually a priest back during the First War, and had actually witnessed how bad things got during the First War. And, so he was one of those people who... Hey, Razulia. You missed us promoting Destiny earlier. He was one of those who was, who believed in the concept of the Paladin, a martial individual who could be on the front lines and fighting alongside his fellow soldiers while still wielding the powers of the light to heal and help and mend. In other words, someone who is absolutely critically important to the frontline concept. He was also generally a pretty awesome, cool, amazing, good person. And then he died a horrible, terrible death at the hands of his greatest student. And his soul has been captured and tortured within Frostmourne ever since.
Need assistance?
Fizzcrank will be delighted to hear the news. Who knows? Maybe we'll make a mechanic out of you yet.
Be seeing you.
I wouldn't hold my breath, gnome. Who was the very first assassin? Well, there was this little lizard. And the lizard was like, and then ate another lizard, and thus it was the first assassin. There you go. Big, in-depth story. Well, it's just his soul that's being tortured, Deutsch. Hey, you.
Can I help you?
What do you need? Tinky and I came out here stalking some old magnetar. Apparently those caves are where they go to die. Of course, we had no idea they were going in to get plagued. We can't have plagued things just roaming around. It's not healthy. Say, why don't you throw down a number of those things while I figure out what our next step is going to be.
You have a great day now.
Yes, by the way, that's right. The Scourge are trying to make undead magnetar. And they're succeeding. These are basically undead magnetar right here. Or at the very least, they're about to be undead magnetar. They're still trying to figure out the specifics. They're getting there. They're getting there. They'll make it work. This place has been cherry-picked. Let's go and just kill everything. A soul can feel just as much as a person can. Actually, arguably more so, since most of what an individual is in the Warcraft setting is tied directly to the soul. So all you have to do is make the soul feel. Present them with horrible, horrible things, you know. Just the standard torture, nothing big, really. Unlike, say, what you do to someone who was formerly a human and was then converted into a ashen creature of doom, you physically torture them in addition to, torturing their soul. I'm sure whoever withstands that, though, they'll be fine afterwards. Nothing could possibly come of that. So let's talk about blue dragons. Now, I know that not everyone who watches this particular sequence actually knows about Warcraft history, so forgive me. But I'm going to actually talk about blue dragons kind of in a vacuum. In other words, without actually... as if you didn't know who or what they are. So there are several different flights of dragons. Each of these can trace their ancestry back to the aspects. The aspects are very, very powerful dragons that used to be proto-drakes, which were the original dragon kind, which were the most intelligent and intelligent of their kind. Just plain intelligent. So they were uplifted from that status as a proto-drake into becoming a full-fledged dragon. Massive, powerful, and they were each given a charge. It was the one thing that they were supposed to be in charge of and watch after and make sure was venerated and was kept safe throughout the course of Azeroth's history. These include the blue flight, the black flight, the red flight, the bronze flight, the emerald flight, or the green flight if you prefer. And I think that's actually it. Yes, that's it. Now, we'll talk about all the flights in general, but the one we really are just concerned with at the moment is the blue flight. The blue flight is run by the aspect of magic, the spellweaver Malygos. Malygos is actually pretty old at this point, since he's been around since the Proto-Drake days. But Malygos was a particularly observant Proto-Drake, which is why he was given this particular thing. Not the smartest Proto-Drake, that would actually probably be Nosdormu, but very, very observant. Hang on. So while you were out taking care of those plagued beasts, I took a peek inside the caves up there. There's cultists in there. They have some kind of noxious concoction brewing in a cauldron. I have a powder I normally use as an anti-poison. I mixed it up with some other stuff. I think it'll neutralize it. Go check it out.
Goodbye for now.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about the infinite flight, or the chromatic flight, or the nether flight, or the twilight flight. Let's just leave those aside for now. So, the blue flight, like I said, their leader was Malygos, and they were concerned with magic. That was their big thing. They were all about trying to understand and study and calculate and learn and expand and protect and safeguard and keep under wraps magic. As you might imagine, given the fact that the War of the Ancients happened, the blue flight didn't do a really good job.
My, you're a tall one.
Thanks.
Be seeing you.
Oh.
Alrighty then. Hi, how are you?
I told Tinky not to go off on her own because I had to check out that crashed necropolis to the west. I am 100% certain that those cultists came from inside that thing, which means I'm 100% certain that Tinky's in trouble. She's the airship's #1 engineer. Without her, we're doomed. I'd find her myself, but one of those things got a swipe on my leg before I could vanish again. If anybody can get her out, it's you.
Right.
If the cultists in the cave survived the crash, then that fallen necropolis to the west can only be assumed to still be filled with Scourge. I love the name of this quest, by the way. The name of the quest is Might As Well Wipe Out the Scourge.
Alrighty then.
I know that's a joke quest name, but that so summarizes the attitude of the Alliance and the Horde up here. I guess we might as well wipe out the Scourge while we're here. I mean, you know, if we've got nothing else on our plate at the time. So the Blue Dragon flight was very... what's a good word here? They weren't really big on interacting with the other flights. It's not like they were antagonistic, so much as they were loners. They preferred to interact only with each other, and even then only on rare occasions. They had to be convinced to join the War of the Shifting Sands, to name one example of that. Now, that being said, something kind of horrible happened during the War of the Ancients, and we're going to discuss this now because this is actually very relevant to what's about to be happening. You see, Naltharion came forward to Malygos with an idea to the rest of the flights, and he said, we can make the ultimate weapon, the most powerful weapon ever conceived in the history of Azeroth. And that's actually kind of true, even as of this day. And this weapon will be called the Dragon Soul. Hey, Norlex. The Dragon Soul was literally the essences of each of the aspects, minus Naltharion, poured into a single artifact, which could then use that power in incredible offensive capacity. This is the kind of thing that it probably could push out more direct, raw power than any other single artifact can in the history of the setting. Again, because of the fact that it is directly powered by the actual energy of the aspect. So this is basically a Titan gun, is what we're talking about here, to really bring it down to the core. Now, Naltharion and Malygos were actually best friends. They'd been best friends since their Proto-Drake days, so that's nothing new. So Malygos, the moment his friend said, I've got an idea, said, yep, I'm on board with it. Don't even need to hear the details. Because he supported his friend. And when I say friend, I mean like a real friend, not like a buddy. You know, someone who you are with through and through to the end of your day. Someone you really trust and someone you really care about. So, for those of you not aware, Naltharion usually goes by another name that he's a little more well-known as, called Deathwing. The reason he's called that is because he was... I mean, there's a bit of a story to it, and we'll discuss it more in detail later, but suffice to say, he was influenced by the old gods. And, yeah, as a result of being influenced by the old gods, he went a little crazy. So, in his craziness, he wanted to create this weapon and then just use it more or less wantonly on anyone else around him. What I mean by that is he took this weapon, went out to the field, test-fired it against the Burning Legion. It worked beautifully. Practically just obliterated wave after wave of Legion demons. Excellent, fantastic. The weapon works. Then he tried it out on the Night Elves. Then he tried it out on the Spirits. Then he tried it out on the Guardians. Then he tried it out on the Dragons. Yeah. So Malygos, who was actually the first one to counterattack, he realized what had happened, and he was so hurt, so betrayed by this, that he put into flight and immediately charged after Naltharion with all of with tons and tons of blue dragons, and they were pretty much all wiped out, and Malygos himself was nearly killed by the weapon, by the Dragon Soul. Fun fact, to this day, the blue dragons have never actually recovered from that single attack. In fact, none of the dragons have. During the Age of the Dragons, which happened from the moment the Titans uplifted the aspects from their Proto-Drake forms until this moment at the War of the Ancients, up until that was the Age of the Dragons. The Dragon Soul wiped out so many dragons that their numbers have, again, literally never recovered in all the years since. They have never been as prolific as they used to be. So the Blue Flight, we'll discuss what happened to the remaining Blue Flight and Malygos in just a second.
Pleased to meet you.
Hey there, who sent you? Bixie sent you? Oh, excellent. Please get me out of here. The cultist magicked me into this cage, and there's no door to it. Little did they know, I'm a chief transmatter engineer for the airstrip. With your help, and a little elbow grease, I won't be in here for long. I'm going to need an engine core crystal from one of the ghouls, a magical gyroscope, and a piloting Scourge stone. With all that stuff, I could totally make a port device, and I could get out and escape the gnomish way.
Be seeing you.
Gotta love gnomes. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that have permanently changed the status quo in Azeroth, if you think about it, which is kind of cool. You know, there's never been a return to form from the Sundering, from the War of the Ancients in general, from the Cataclysm. Anyways, from the Third War, for that matter. Hey, Screenburn. So the Blue Dragon Flight scattered to the winds. Malygos himself fled all the way up to Northrend, and he went completely insane. Now, here's the catch. when I say insane, I don't mean like, I must kill everything. You know, the insanity that Deathwing had, that Neltharion had, is hard to explain unless you really see it. The voice actor who plays him does a great job. He's like a live wire that's constantly out of sync with the wire it's attaching to. So you just see this constant arcing electricity go everywhere, all the time. It's this non-stop raging crazy, right? Malygos, by contrast, he went up there and he started getting paranoid and overcautious and basically started secluding into himself. And so he's sitting there, hey, Admiral. So he started secluding into himself and getting more and more introverted and basically refused to interact with other people for a really long period of time. In fact, he only came out of his stupor once to fight against Deathwing, actually. How's that for a fun thought? Excuse me. Filthy breather. That's a great insult, by the way. A Scourge insulting a living being by calling them a breather. I just like that. Anyways, God damn it, I need this guy. Whatever, I'll have to wait for him to respawn. So Malygos is sitting there, and so the flight is effectively leaderless. So most of the blue dragons that are around at this time kind of were operating on their own independent thought. And there really wasn't a blue organization, if you follow. There were plenty of blue dragons, but none of them were really coordinating with each other. There was no flight. There was no... I don't have a better word for it. You know, there was no organization of them for them to work together. So a few of them did a few things. For example, Arygos, which is actually Malygos' son, ended up fighting alongside most of the other dragons and drakes in the War of the Shifting Sands. In fact, he was thought dead from that particular thing. And, in fact, he was actually captured and held within Ankiraj. We actually kind of poked at him very briefly while we were there. What do I need this from? It said the ghouls. Anywho, but yeah, so there was Caligos. We've actually seen Caligos several times. It's actually a nice bit of foreshadowing that we encounter the Blue Dragonflight several times before we actually go to Northrend. With Madragos, yes, Madragosa, who turned into the Fellmist, and Caligos, who was part of the whole Sunwell chain, right? Caligos, as I've mentioned, has been kind of a major character pretty much ever since. Excuse me. So, I don't have much else to share about the Blue Flight in the interim, because for the most part, the Blue Flight weren't really doing much. That's kind of the point. They just kind of meandered. I think that's important because it helps to explain why things happened the way they did. So just prior to Wrath actually happening, prior to the Scourge invasion, Malygos finally came out of his stupor, finally came out of his self-imposed exile. And he was like, aha! I am finally capable. Oh, lots of them do, Night Order. And so, Malygos finally comes out, and there's a little short story about the fact that he had some nether drakes to help heal him. I'm just going to mention that really quick, because there's nothing really there worth talking about. When he comes out of his stupor, the first thing he sees is a world in flames. Everything's wrong, and oh my god, there's death, and chaos, and horror. I figured it out. The world is wrong because it has magic. Clearly, we need to just kill all the magic in Azeroth. That will fix things for good. So that was Malygos' plan.
My, you're a tall one.
Outstanding. Well, let's do a little modification. Let's go
Very
ahead
well,
and
then.
Make this happen. Okay, here we go. Cross your fingers, eyes, toes, and whatever else you can cross. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom. Oh no, it didn't work. Somehow I feel lighter. So, for those of you not aware, I guess that could be implied. I never took it that way myself, Norlex. I always took that as Aragos being kind of screwed up from spending so much time in on Courage. Remember, Aragos was imprisoned along with Cthulhu for years. But anyways, so for those of you not aware, there was a teleport device you could build as an engineer all the way back in vanilla. And it had a random chance to duplicate you and make an evil twin. So,
Hey!
well, my evil twin's out there somewhere right now. I'm pretty sure she's not back at the airship. In fact, wherever she ended up, it's colder than here, but I can only feel her for a moment. Oh well, I'll reconfigure this thing and port myself back to the airstrip soon enough. In the meantime, do you think you could go east and let Bixie know I'll meet her back there? Thanks.
Off and away.
Now, if memory serves, I want to double check this really quick. Pretty sure this is the one I'm thinking of. Yep. We will actually be seeing her evil clone when we get all the way up to Ice Crown. Yeah, no kidding. So, long story short, Malygos is like, I need to remove magic from Azeroth. Now, initially he did this relatively benignly. He didn't just decide to go off and just start killing mages wantonly, at least at first. His first plan was he started redirecting all of the ley lines towards a building called the Nexus. And he was using the Nexus to pour all of that arcane energy out into the Twisting Nether. Bonus points if you can figure out why that's a terrible plan before I tell you why.
Be seeing you. Goodbye for now.
Okay, I think I'm going to make my way home back too. Of course, I'm a little sore with my leg. If you get there ahead of me, could you pass on the good news? Oh, sure, I can do
You
that.
have a great day now.
Aragos was also kind of a dick, regardless of Malygos. Bingo, Permeus. So for those of you not aware, the demons like magic. They eat magic, literally. And they pretty much live in the Twisting Nether. Lore-wise? You're going to have to actually refine that question for me, Admiral, because I'm not sure what you mean. So yeah, lots and lots of magic was being poured into the Nether, aka the place where demons live. That was a terrible idea for a bunch of reasons. Now, the most obvious reason is the one we just mentioned, because that's basically just shining a giant light for the maws of the Legion, you know? Let's go grab that one.
Off and away.
Supposedly it is Deutsch. Anyways, with that horrible, horrible circumstance going up to the mages of everywhere took notice of this, and they're like, whoa, what are you doing? Supposedly there were some initial attempts at diplomatic recourse, but those failed instantly because Malygos was unmoving. He was like, no magic needs to go away. We need to remove all magic from the world. Now, I'm going to showcase to you what the Nexus looks like because I'm talking about it right now. And then we'll go back and do the quests. You can actually see them pouring the energy into the Nether right there. There we go. That's a little better. So this is the Nexus. Probably one of the coolest, no pun intended, looking places in all of WoW, in my opinion. This place looks amazing. Welcome to the Arcane Nexus of the world, actually. A lot of the magical damage that's happening around here, those cracks and whatnot, that's because several of the local ley lines have already been redirected, because that's the first thing that they did. It's like the very next thing they did was that. So like I said, the mages are like, whoa, no, and Malygos is like, no, I'm doing this. So the mages said, no, we're going to fight you, and Malygos says, that's just proof of the fact that you're corrupted by magic. Anyone who would fight against me deserves to die. And so he declared war on magic. Now, this is kind of funny, as we'll learn a little bit more about the Nexus War. This is what this incident is referred to as. It's basically all the forces loyal to Malygos versus the entire rest of the world, at least ideologically. Nobody else wants to is on the side of Malygos, other than the people who ended up actually joining him. There are a few people who actively joined him, like that guy right there. He's a Koldara spellbinder, but yeah. So yeah, like I said, even though Malygos came out of his stupor, he was still insane, to put it as nicely as I can. So that's a rough history of the Blue Dragonflight. Another fun factoid is the fact that the Blue Dragonflight has arguably suffered more than any other flight, even though they still have quite a few living members, unlike, say, the Black Dragonflight, which has exactly 2. Ahem.
Ishnuala. Good luck, friend.
Oh, that's an odd-sounding Murloc. Also, I just really want you guys to look at the Murloc here.
Peace be with you. Greetings.
Behold its glory. If you really stretch the definition, you could argue that the Reds or the Bronzes accomplished their mission. So, finally, and by the looks of you, your alliance. That's good. Your people are very skilled in the art of combat. We're going to need a lot of that. By the way, this is King of the Murlocs, King Murgle. Hello, Mulder Fox. Northrend is a continent. Yeah. Ahem.
May the stars guide you.
To help, you must learn to speak the Winterfin dialect. We'll work the forces of nature and magic to do that. Take this empty conch. At the bottom of the watery trench below exists Scalder, an elemental of air and watery fury. Once she's defeated... No, you can't, Ziwan. Well, actually, yeah, you can. So, yes, you can. Use the conch upon her remains to capture her magical stream. Return it to me, and I'll imbue my knowledge of the tongue into you. Luckily, a friend taught me a water-breathing spell.
Del Nadris.
This is a night elf, by the way, if the voice didn't give it away. We see him a couple more times after this. Obviously, since he's a member of Dita. He's a lot more sensible than most Dita members, though. So, the reason I was so hesitant on cooking mute magic, for example, if you were to use magic to kill someone, and then eat that magic after, from the dead body, that is a way you can cook magic. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, gosh, that's horrible, Arch. But no, that's actually a thing. So, yeah. So look at this, by the way. You notice how the terrain here is arcane infused, and there's just this horrible crack in the terrain here. Hey, Cabinizer. Yes, he would, psychotic. Okay, so the area that the Nexus is in, it's actually referred to as the Caldera. The Caldera used to actually be a part of the continent proper. Back when Malygos came back here, he was so... I don't want to have to do with anything or anyone, I never want to interact with another living thing again, that he actually split the land and caused the rift, which is what this is. And so this massive rift between these areas is because of Malygos. Later on, some people built a bridge over there. Malygos broke that down too. Yeah.
I am listening.
But let's talk about the Murlocs. Have you managed to fill the conch? Now I will use it to essence to impart my understanding of yada yada yada.
Farewell.
See you around, Ziwan Joker. Now that you can speak with the Winterfin, it's time to let them get to know you. One of the best ways to do that is to conduct business with them. The Murlocs prize clams over any other object, and their only surviving merchant is Algrug. If I were you, I'd collect a handful and give them to him as a gift. The clams can be found all over the place in the trench.
Go in peace.
Excuse me. There's something fishy about the new King Murgle, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I knew we never should have gone to those caves. It's not natural. Hang on. Looking for another little bit of dialogue here. You can understand me? I can understand you. Keep in mind, we're not disguised, so they can see full out that we are clearly not Murlocs. And they do tend to be okay with us being Murlocs. Not Murlocs, I should say. And yeah, this is a relatively rare occasion of a Murloc being totally okay with another race. Not all Murlocs are for carrying goods, Darker. The same reason humans, who can travel on land without issue, would build a cart. I do admit I have a fondness for Murloc names. I've actually thought about what I would name a paladin Murloc if I ever got the chance to actually make a Murloc class, or make a Murloc character. And I was thinking something along the lines of or for light or paladin, respectively. That's true, there is a Murloc ship. I don't know, Darker. I mean, obviously these Murlocs do and have interacted with locals because they're one of the few Murlocs that actually trade. The mere fact that they have an entire a thing centered around trade means they have someone to trade with. And whoever it is they're trading with may or may not actually be capable of just carrying things in their own hands. Therefore, having a boat to carry goods from point A to point B might actually be useful to facilitate said trade. It's not that hard of a concept, dude. Come on. Arsh worked very hard for that boat. Absolutely, I think a Naga race could work. And I am not alone in that. Many, many people think that. One day, we will unite! So, first let's talk to... What's this? Who are you? You're one of those Worgen things! How can you speak our tongue? Is it for me? No Worgen trick? No? Well, thank you. Come back anytime you have more clams. We'll do business. Oh, ding with the Murloc. Ding with the Murloc. God, we're already level 78. That's crazy. Murloc ding. Our brothers and sisters across the water. This is Burgamurgle, by the way. Our brothers and sisters across the water are now our mortal enemies. They have kidnapped our tadpoles. Oh, sorry. Getting too much in character there. Driven us out of our village and killed more of us than I can count. Prove yourself, Worgen. Swim across the rift and slay them. Despite the favor that the new king has shown you, only then will we consider accepting you. Fail and you might as well leave here and never return.
What brings you here?
Oh, good, you're back. When the landslide at the village across the water exposed the caverns, a malevolent lobstrock known as Clamus came out of the caves and stole the tadpoles away. Something happened to all the Murlocs that followed him in there, and when they re-emerged, they were under his control. Death Knight, you must swim among the waters and rescue the tadpoles. The future of the tribe depends on you.
May the stars guide you.
I can do this. This is my destiny. To salvage the proud Murloc race. Wait, do we want to do that? I just like to say that baby Murlocs are the cutest thing in the freaking universe. Come along, my wintry friends. I shall save you. You will not harm these innocents. Unintentionally, yes, little Billy. without designing it. That could be darker, actually. That wouldn't surprise me too much. There are very few examples of civilized murlocs, and that guy just stole my babies. Well, now it's war. Come on, guys! Go! They're way too fast. I can't leave them behind. I can't. I can't do it. Come on, guys. Let's go. At a pace you can follow at. I'm not sure, Psychotic. I don't know how to search for that exactly. I have at least one. Also, when you rescue them, they say things like, play? Me go home? That's true, Nether, but they're not murlocs, so I don't really count them. Because, yeah, I don't count them any more than I count night elves as trolls. I mean, really, they are a completely different race at this point. I must find more to rescue. But they're all gone because some Alliance jackass is stealing them all. I will kill all Alliance to save the Murlocs. Oh, there's one! Quick! I'm coming to save you. Come out, you're free! You're free. Yeah, they do. This is not a good respawn rate. And it sucks. Can you keep up with the horse? No, you can't. I can't do it. I can't leave them behind. Anyways. It is also possibly just random chance that has led to these Murlocs being, you know, relatively more civilized than your average Murloc. No, Murloc tastes like fish, Cabinizer. Because they're fish people. This is not complicated, man. Oh my god, that Alliance jackass! Go away, you Alliance prick. Go back to licking Varian's boots, you lapdog. Hey, Corwin. We'll keep killing. No, they taste like Swedish meatballs, Samurai. Yes, you go home. Don't worry. Freaking Alliance scum. I hope somebody gets the Swedish meatballs joke. What? That guy is a scumbag, and he happens to be an Alliance. I even checked. If he wasn't Alliance, I'd be calling him a Horde scumbag. Doesn't matter. Good night, Salty. You think this is cute, by the way. We're going to see something else. Not quite as cute, but certainly different. Okay, I need to abandon the Murlocs. Bye, Murlocs! Because there's a jackass who's stealing all the things, and I kind of need to finish the Lorerun. So, I need to start abandoning Murlocs. Farewell, my Murloc brethren. Know that I shall always love you, and keep you deep in my heart. Farewell. Remember in the future that I was the one who saved you, and not that human frickin'. Yeah, looks like there's all taken out here right now. God damn, there's more in the cave, really? You know, I think I knew that. Aha! I'm gonna steal right from under you because you did it to me first, you jackass. Slash spit! It's okay, they'll be fine. I'm not even doing these quests yet. Bye, guys. Hey, look, some of the Murlocs found me. Yay. They're not all abandoned, guys. Just most of them. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? I have to be really careful because I've got those big worgen claws, so I can't scritch them, you know, like normal. By the way, Murlocs weren't really that big of a deal in WoW until this quest. Now, I don't know if this is the quest that did it, but Murlocs started becoming a staple of the series and being used all over the place after Wrath. And, yeah. Hi, Cougar, by the way. I strongly think that this quest arc is why Murlocs exploded in popularity. They gave us the cute, adorable baby Murlocs. Now, I know what you're going to say. This is not the first time the baby Murlocs are in the game, but this is the first time most people saw them. And the thing that's coming up here as soon as I actually finish capturing all these guys. Okay. Here we go. You! I am pleased. I can smell the coppery tang of their blood on your hands. This is a good start for you. By the way... Oh yeah, I probably should get a Murloc pet out. Well, I think I'll pull out Murkidin. I think that's a good one. After consuming the shin bone of Gul'dan, this feisty demon hunter was caged for 10,000 years by his brother, Murkfurion. There's Murkidin right there. I like his tiny glaive, by the way. It's, Anyways.
I am honored.
No matter what happens, the Winterfin Murlocs will have a secure future. Yay. I have something embarrassing to admit. I'm being blackmailed. Murgolgamur agreed to clean some of my things and got a hold of my spare Murloc costume. He's threatening to reveal my true nature to the other Murlocs. I need not explain what a disaster that would be. Besides, I have a plan that's going to require we get that back. Please go to Murloc and do whatever he asks of you.
Farewell.
And yes, occasionally he pulls out the wings. I was actually glad he did it just as I was zooming in on him there. Ah, so you must be so-called King Murgle's lackey. I suppose the Night Elf has sent you to appease me. Good. I have just the thing that needs doing for someone as powerful as you. If your pathetic little eyes were any good, you'd see we're being slaughtered by the orcas to the north in the bay. Assuming your precious Night Elf king wants his spare costume back, I think you'll do me a favor and bring back the head of the king of the orcas, Gurgle, he who swims against the tides of fate, eradicating the hope of life for all those who would hear the siren song of death upon the waves. That's a lot of information for like 5 letters there. What? What do you want? Word is, strange Worgen, you might be going after the king of the orcas, Gurgle. That's all fine and good, but if you want to taste the stew that makes life worth living, you'll bring me back the succulent sweet blubber of the orcas. Hurry, I have quite a bit of cutting to do on this carcass if you want to reap the benefit of your efforts. I have to admit, these Murlocs are surprisingly sophisticated. So, 2 possible questions arise, and I don't actually have a good answer for this, because I'm an idiot, apparently. are all Murlocs like this, and just we don't usually bother to reach out to the Murlocs to understand them? Or is this just one of the only tribes ever that is this sophisticated? Now, I'm not talking about their willingness to interact peaceably with other races. That's pretty rare. And this is one of the only tribes that does that. I mean, the ability to have things like hunters and cooks and gatherers and, you know, backstory, culture, history, you know, all that fun kind of stuff. Also, why does Diablo 3 cost $1 billion, Permius, roughly? Yeah, familial bonds, that's another one. Again, I don't actually have an answer. I don't actually know if this is a trait unique to this tribe or not. I just postulate the question for others to ponder. I have to admit, this ability always had a bit of a cool factor for me. The fact that we can just freeze the water and walk upon the ice. Oh, that's obvious, Nicolau. Murky is the one true Murloc, survived by all his Murloc brethren in order to be able to stand up and fight for the rights of other Murlocs upon the great fields of the Nexus. I don't know who the hell Murky is, dude. Do you have the blubber? Just plop him down anywhere. You can have some of my leftover stew from last night. Ooh. Crit stew. This will make a nice feast. With the king of the Orcas dead, the attacks upon us should diminish, while the whales fight amongst themselves for dominance. Very well. Your king's secret is safe with me, as long as he continues to help us against our enemies. Here, take this to him. I cleaned it up nicely, though I have no idea why he needs a second disguise. Hem. Oh shoot, I forgot to put some of the money from earlier. Well, thank you, Corwin, for the heart attack donation. That will, of course, be going towards the Skittles, which is now way in the lead. Yikes. But I do thank you for the donation. There's also a bit of a donation earlier I forgot to allocate. It actually went over here. There we go.
Greetings.
Ah, excellent. Nicely done. Now back to the pressing matter at hand. I have something of great importance for you to do. The time has come to put an end to this unnatural situation. For the Winterfin Murlocs to have a chance at the future, Clamus must die. I want you to take my spare Murloc suit and enter the Winterfin caverns under the pretext of surrender. With the white flag in your hand, the Murlocs won't attack you. Okay.
Denadris.
Let's do it! Oh, wait. Hang on. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, no kidding, Samurai. I'm telling you guys, I need to just win the lottery so I can stop taking donations overall. I keep doing the show. So we are now a Murloc. The best Murloc ever. This is like the greatest thing. You have no idea. So first of all, we've got the obvious, hey, we're a Murloc suit situation going on. the white flag. We couldn't actually zip the zipper all the way, so our underwear's showing a little bit. EPC, I don't know if that stands for anything in particular. I've always assumed it just meant epic. But we've also got some amazing animations. For example, this is what running is like. White flag, also eyeball. Dangle, 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 dangle. I am a Murloc who is surrendering. Do not kill me, enemy Murlocs. Also, he has the best jump animation in the universe. I know it's kind of hard to see, but look at him just flailing there. He's like, oh god, yeah, it's him, oh god, yeah. And if you jump off something, he's like, okay. Oh crap, I took damage. Die horribly. There we go. This is awesome. Yeah. When Janine and I got here, we just sat here jumping around like Murlocs for like, I swear, 20 minutes. In response to GG Juice's question, the very first time I ever played WoW ever, I wasn't actually all that enthused about it. It wasn't until I got further in, when Taurens were playable, was the first time I really was just like, oh my god, this game's amazing. Alright, now we'll help these guys out. Oh yeah, sure, sorry, I totally forgot that. Hang on. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I'm the best. I'm a sexy Murloc, I am. Hoorah, hoorah. There ain't no one who Murlocs like I do. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is his walk animation, by the way. Just going about my business like a Murloc. Oh, sorry. I think I scared that moonkin off. I have to get out of these caverns. There's magic stuff seeping in from the caldera that's affecting everyone's minds. I don't intend to be controlled like the others. Keymaster is in the cave below. Quick, get him. I can do this for you, brother. No, that's what... Well, you know who does that, Permeus. Whoops, wrong thing. I believe it's this pet specifically. Or no. It's this pet, Murky here, who actually does the hat dance. There's also Murkalot, who is a Crusader Murky from Diablo 3. Mercablo, also from Diablo 3. Turkey, I don't remember where this one comes from, if I'm being honest. And of course, Muuru! But that's not the one. We're gonna get Murkadin back out here. There we go. Come, Murkadin. So, this is a fun time as any to mention something. Do you remember how I pointed out that that necklace, or not necklace? It was the haunted memento that I got from the Scourge event. Oh, excuse me. Mercablo is apparently from BlizzCon. My bad. I assumed one was Diablo and the other was Reaper. So that item has a little ghost following you around. That's all it does. It just makes this ghost follow you around. I used to have that on me all the time. Apparently, that was actually a little more common of a thing to do than I thought. When a developer was asked somewhat recently, this is actually months ago, why did you make it so it doesn't work like that anymore? His response was, would you believe that a ridiculously huge, I forget the number, but it was like 15% of all objects being tracked on the server at any given time were the ghosts being generated from those items? Because everyone had them out all the time. And so they were constantly generating them, and that was actually eating up cycles on the servers to the point where it was noticeably impacting server performance. So, yeah. That's a fun thought there. Also, quick, we must save the tiny Oh, this... So if you're not disguised, or if you're not on the quest when you try to help these guys, they say, "Close! No go, a stranger." Yeah, they won't follow me because I'm not on the quest. That's great. I should probably go... Well, let's go get Clamus. Oh, right. I surrender. Me and my companion, Mercadin, surrender. We wish to parley. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? Holy crap. Guys, I've decided to commit seppuku. Who's willing to be my second? As long as you're not going to miss the spine. That's really, really important. You think Murloc soup is bad? You guys have no idea. When we get to Zuldrak, I will show you the most disgusting food in this game. I'm serious. Some of you probably already know what I'm talking about. So some people have wondered, and I don't have a definitive answer on this, whether or not this magical aura that's being unleashed from the Caldera, from all the magic that Malygos is pumping through here, is being deliberately used to affect the Murlocs, or if it just happens to be a byproduct of it. Personally, I think it's just a byproduct. I really can't picture Malygos and all of the things he's dealing with right now, and all the things the barrels are dealing with right now, actually going out of his way to try and affect Murlocs, of all things. And yes, even more disgusting than Dark Moon food. No, come with me, little Murlocs. I swear I shall give you places where you can be very cute. But yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think this is just a collateral situation. More disgusting than an Arakoa egg? Debatable. Debatable. Gromlock. Gromlock? Gromlock. Permeus, what's Gromlock? The name isn't hitting a bell. Now, it is worth noting that Malygos is insane right now, and that he attacked a quarry filled with Tuskar, so it's not like he's completely in the right of mind, and it is possible he did actually want to screw up the Murlocs on purpose. So, I'm not going to argue the matter, like I said. There's no definitive answer, and there's a little bit of evidence for both sides. Oh, Clamus. You're not one of the Winterfin? Nope. But you're dead. Ah, there he is. Gromlock! From BlizzCon 2014, apparently. No matter how much he screams, never give him demon blood. He's even got the hair. That's cute. And, of course, he's got Gorehal, because of course he does. And now to leave in style. I had Shogun Total War 2 or Total War Shogun 2, you mean, Corwin? Is that the specific game you're referring to? Otherwise, no. But if you're referring to that one, then yes, I have played that. Yeah, you didn't know what seppuku actually meant, did you, Night Forager? It's pretty bad. Now, don't forget, you don't have to do all three. It's the level of shame. You know, if you do something really, really, really bad, then yeah, you got to do all of the above. And then, of course, you have to have the second who... And they can't miss, either. Because missing would be bad. Swooping would be bad. Alright, I'll let you out. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. So long, suckers. The lock in my cage doesn't look too solid, but I'm not foolish enough to try without assistance. Will you get me to safety? Please, there's no time. When I get back, tell the king I'm okay. No, what I mean, samurai, is stab, 1 slice, 2 slice. So, 1, 2, 3. I may be getting the specific pattern wrong, forgive me. This is recent in my mind because I was talking about this with a friend of mine recently. Please don't ask why me and my friend were talking about seppuku recently. I'll give you a hint. It had to do with Burmecia, Lindblum, Alexandria, and World War II. I'm serious. This was all part of one conversation. We were discussing how, in FF9... Whoa! Right. I'll save you. Shoot. Get out. There we go. We were discussing how, similar to... What? It makes perfect sense. Look at Lindblum. Okay, in the history of FF9, the three nations have been at war for literally centuries. Centuries of fighting each other. The first thing that finally broke that conflict was Lindblum gaining air power. They gained such a technological advantage, the other two nations had to pull back, and for the first time, they were able to go into peace, right? That's fairly recent. That's like 30 years prior to FF9 actually starting. And the reason they were at war for so long constantly was because of the mist influencing them, right? So, they had this technological disparity. Lindblum was so strong they could enforce a peace. The other two nations dare not attack them. Kuja was, of course, designed to re-upset the balance because Garland was pissed off that they dared make peace, but that's another tactic that I'm not talking about. What I really mean, though, is the relation to World War II is the idea of being a nation that has no choice but to bow to the wills of another because that other is so vastly superior technologically to them. And this relies to Japan, basically pre-World War II. Because in the World War I era, and the pre-World War I era, Japan was so far behind everyone when it came to military technology. They were literally being sold the scraps of ships, of old, terrible ships. And so we were talking about how a Japanese writer would probably have a unique, interesting understanding, historically speaking, to write for nations, Alexandria and Burmecia in this case, who were so ill-advanced that they had to bow to the whims of Lindblum. Thankfully, Lindblum actually had reasonable leaders, so they didn't enforce anything that they could have done negatively. But one of the reasons we brought it up was we were discussing, how much of Alexandria's desire for war was reasonable, right? Now, you might be looking at me weird, but what I mean by that, yeah, the Sino-Japan war was a mess. Let's just leave it at that. But the reason we were discussing it is, obviously Kuja influenced Queen Braun. We all know that. And he influenced her to be immeasurably greedy, to have that never-ending lust for more, right? The Tarkin effect, as I'm just going to start calling that, I want more kind of a thing. However, it makes me interested that she brought Kuja, a weapons dealer, to Alexandria. See you around, Corwin. She brought a weapons dealer to Alexandria long before he had any influence or effect on her. Because the idea here is that we were debating how much Alexandria was already wanting to try and get an edge up or have some way to be able to try and influence Lindblum and get out from that heel, right? Which, again, ties into the whole Japanese thing. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. Don't ask how seppuku got into the topic. It just did.
I'm listening.
I never read this, so let's go ahead and read this. I recently came here to observe the Winterfin Murlocs. Disguised as one of them, I kept my distance and took notes on their day-to-day lives. However, not long after I arrived, all that changed. An earthquake in the Caldara caused a landslide which exposed the nearby caverns. Oh, never mind. I actually already mentioned this. Never mind. Have you done it, Death Knight? Is Claximus dead? Ah, regrettable, but necessary. I'll take the claw, Xylom. Thank you for all the help you've given us. With Claxus defeated, maybe we'll be able to reunite the remaining Murlocs and seal off those caverns. Yay.
Go in peace.
Wow, I still have my Death Knight armor on in some cases. This is wonderful news, and you say that Lord Lorc discovered that the emanations from the caverns are what caused this? It must be with the magic from Caldara. The Nexus War, the battle between the two Blue Dragon and all the other dragons is spilling over. Soon we will all be embroiled in it, but first we will get the Murgle Blade.
Good luck.
The
friend.
greatest of all blades. Hey, those Murlocs are very important to him. Can you give me a specific, Sir Arthur? Because Pyrrhic victories can actually mean several different things. So yeah, here's the bridge that used to lead to the Caldara. And, yeah. So, whether or not you agree with Malygos, his methods are unquestionably wrong. I'm sorry. Whether or not magic is getting out of control, whether or not mages should be removed from the world, whether or not magic should be removed from the world, what he and his people are doing is pretty messed up. It's also incredibly hypocritical. Malygos is totally okay with a mage as long as they're on his side. And he's totally okay with using magic as long as it's him or his side using magic. The idea here is they don't want to just drain the magic from the world. They want to be the sole people left who can still cast magic because they're the only ones who can be trusted with it. And, yeah. So welcome to the Nexus War.
Greetings.
You can tell your friend her rescue was our pleasure, as well as our duty. Her encounter was but a small piece in what I believe to be a larger puzzle. Lorerun is sparing no effort in solving this mystery, and to be honest, we could use a bit of insistence.
Light bless you.
I am Donathan, a loyal representative of Lorerun. Forgive my abruptness, but we find ourselves in the midst of a crisis. Mages across all of Azeroth are being abducted, and I've been authorized to conscript anyone able to assist in the unraveling of this mystery. The camp just south of there is where the investigation begins. I call upon you to rescue one of the imprisoned there. You must obtain a key from a mage hunter.
Go with honor, friend. Light be with you.
Greetings, Worgen. I am Garen of Lorerun. Not long ago, this rift was a peaceful place, geothermically at least. Recently, though, earthquakes have occurred with alarming frequency, and scars in the earth have apparently been exposing unique energy fields of chaotic power. My mission is to chart and monitor these anomalies.
For the Alliance.
Yeah, so like I said, this rift has been here for, like, millennia, actually. It's one of the first things Malygos did when he came back to Northrend. You notice I haven't mentioned Saragosa yet, by the way. I'll mention her story a little bit later. I'm not sure, actually, Norales. Theoretically, it's not that hard to repair them. All you have to do is redirect them back. Yes, I would be okay with that then, Sir Arthur. That would still work, especially since that would be a perfect time for a new enemy to show up, like, oh, I don't know, the Old Gods, just to name one example. But yeah, so because of the massive amount of leyline energy that is being redirected right now, this is no longer just a rift in between what used to be a singular landmass. Now, well, I've already shown you, but now there's this arcane energy pulsing through here because the ley line's being redirected. Literally magic is seeping up from the ground, and this is what it looks like right here. And I keep hearing a Murloc and thinking, what am I hearing? And I keep forgetting I have Mercablo, or excuse me, Mercadin out. Now you think that's bad right there? This is bad. This is, I really want to stress this. This is how reckless Malygos is. But this is really, really important. What you're seeing right here, this is Malygos when he's being careful. This is Malygos who is redirecting the Leylons so he can shoot it out, you know, into the nether, and doing so relatively safely, you know, putting the effort and work into it. This, we will see much, much, much worse than this soon. And that's because the fact that we start fighting back, because all of Lorerun comes up here to fight him, and we have the blessing of the red dragons in order to fight him, and so forth and so on. He will start getting a lot more reckless and a lot less safe in his actions. And once he does, we'll see how bad those kind of rifts really can get. By the way, these are the prisons, like the one they tried to trap that gnome in. One thing I've never actually figured out is what exactly they intended to do with the mages once they imprisoned them in these anti-magic boxes. I mean, were they going to kill them? Were they just going to keep them there? No, okay, that's a lie. I do know one thing they do. They tend to drain magic out of people in these things. Literally drain the magic out of people, which is about as unpleasant as it sounds, by the way. And this is just me theorizing, might actually kill someone under the right circumstances. Or I suppose under the wrong circumstances.
Talk to me.
No, Gnarlex. Let's not forget that Malygos had no problem standing by idle. The caretaker of magic had no problem sitting by and just watching while the events of the War of the Ancients started, aka rampant misuse and overuse of magic by the old Kelderai. Or not Kelderai. Quelderai. No, that's not right. Whatever. The old Night Elves.
Well met.
Fascinating. This is the largest disruption yet. The worst is yet to come, I fear. You know, aftershock. Did you feel that? That was an aftershock. You should have been here a few minutes ago. I'm afraid I must call upon your services again. My instruments indicate there's an immense disruption just west of here, far beneath the surface. Just as before, I need you to take the Arcanometer and to capture the anomaly's data.
Light bless you.
Okay.
Need help?
You have done well, Xylom. The Kirin Tor graciously accept your assistance you have rendered. Know that any service you will provide will not go unrewarded. Please accept this humble offering. Xylom, we have a situation. I've just learned that one of our archmages en route from Lorerun has gone missing. Naturally, we suspect the mage hunters are behind her disappearance. Time is of the essence. We must know what has become of Lady Evanor at once if we have any hope of rescuing her. Take this device, return to Barrel Point, use it on a barrel sorcerer when he is near to death. It should bind him long enough to bring him here for questioning.
Be careful.
So, this is what we call a fresh wound. Because this one, if you were paying attention to the text, literally just opened up just now. You know, seconds ago, as we were coming back from the previous smaller incursion, this happened. And as you can see, lots and lots of arcane energy just pumping out of it, raw, untamed, unchecked. I need to get even closer. I don't want to get closer to that, if I'm being honest. Yeah. That looks fun, doesn't it? God, Malygos, you idiot. Yeah, I was going to say, that swimming into that should actually legitimately kill me. Just vaporize me, basically. That's a lot of raw energy. Arcane energy is supposed to be sweet, by the way. Alright, you die. But don't die too much. Come with me, duh. Did it work? There it is. Okay, there we go. Come with me, dog. You should be thankful I don't flay the flesh from your bones. Trust me, I have a lot of experience with that. I'm a Death Knight. Now come along. I'm going the wrong way. Whatever. Come along, captured sorcerer. I can't get up every... Damn it. Fine, fine. Hurry up. Keep up, you stupid human. Come on. Come on. Unspecified sweet. I usually liken it unto liquid. So I'm thinking like limeades, for example. There's the pathway I was looking for. I don't want to lose my prisoner here. What can I say? Alright. Alliance. Or, excuse me, Malygos. Dog. Spit. Ugh. I have brought you your prisoner.
What can I do for you?
Excellent work. We'll have him prepared for his interrogation at once. Listen closely, for there's not a moment to spare. Your prisoner is being prepared for interrogation. In the event that he may be less than forthcoming, your assistance may be required. Make your way up to where he's been detained. Tell him I've sent you to assist him.
Go with honor, friend.
First, I gotta tell this guy about the
Need help?
rip in reality. It was how big? That's impossible. I need to report to Lorerun at once. I need to compile my notes and prepare a presentation. While I do, I must ask that you visit the Winterfin cavern. I was just there. Return to me with your results. I'm actually not going to do that.
For the Alliance.
What I am going to do is go interrogate this guy. I'm thinking I'll threaten him, but at the same time mention that I am a Death Knight, and then he might think I'm with the Scourge. You know, the intimidation factor of being a Death Knight has got to be huge, right?
What can I do for you?
It is wise of Donathan to send you. As it turns out, I am in need of someone outside the Kirin Tor. No problem. I got this. It is fortunate you are here. You see, the Kirin Tor Code of Conduct frowns upon taking certain measures, even in desperate times such as these. You, however, are an outsider and are not bound by such restrictions. Do what you must. We need to know where Lady Evanor is being held at once. I'll just busy myself organizing these shelves here. Oh, and here. Maybe you'll find this old thing useful.
Be careful.
Now, let's see. What did he give me? A neural needler. Use. Inflicts incredible pain, but does no permanent damage. Made in Lorerun. Can I just talk to him? I mean, I could just... Maybe I... Well, let's torture the guy. Pathetic fool. A servant of Malygos would sooner die than aid the enemy. Do your worst. I'll tell you nothing. Nothing! Oh, God. Release me. I'm of no use to you. I swear it. Oh, God, it hurts. Oh, God, stop. I'm begging you, please. Please, stop. It hurts. It hurts so... you're beaten. Your precious Archmage is held in a prison, elevated and sealed. Even if you manage to reach her, Sauron holds the key. Now let me be.
Light be with you.
Excellent. It was crucial we collect this intelligence. Well done, friend. Thank you, Death Knight. Return to Donathan at once. I will dispose of this
Light
one.
bless you.
Also, I'm just raising an eyebrow at you, Magister.
King's honor, friend.
Forgive me, Xylem. I know that was unpleasant work. You had me torture a guy with a device whose only purpose was torture. That you made in Lorerun. Were it not for the desperation of our circumstances, I never asked you to assist us in such a matter. So what have you discovered? It's true, they do have her. It's clear what must be done. She will be saved. I will remain here and aid the rescue. And I will call upon you again, this time to collect the prison key. We all know this Lorerun figure is one that she cannot be harmed so long as she has her shield intact. But I've customized a special explosive that should strip her of this protection, allowing you to perform your duty.
Go with honor, friend.
I have done worse as a Death Knight. That is true. Theoretically, most Death Knights would probably look at this like, and? My warrior, when she first did this quest, was horrified. It was just like, oh my god, what did you have me do? Yeah, by the way, that's kind of a miniature arcane bomb. It's not quite a mana bomb, not like the other ones are, but it's leaning in that direction. No! She destroyed the key as we killed her. Damn it. I agree, Hylisk.
Greetings.
Have you collected Sauron's key? Broken? Let me have a look. Delays, delays. The one thing we cannot afford right now. As much as I hate to disturb Lord Suristraws, he is our only hope of saving him. Bring him the key fragments. Hope his mood is favorable.
Be careful.
No, the letter's in Dragonblight, Raskor. And yes, it's absolutely heart-wrenching. Why do you disturb me? You dare approach me, mortal! For the sake of your unborn children, pray that your cause is worthwhile. Screw you, first of all. Your frivolous games you play here are of no consequence. You and Dollar and allies pick at loose threads while the fabric of the world's future is being shredded. Still, this may provide my Drake some needed amusement. Show me the key. There. The key is forged anew. Now heed my counsel. Succeed in this endeavor or die trying, for if a single scale falls from one of my drakes, I shall hold you personally accountable. Wow, you are just a wonderful red dragon, aren't you? You dick. Damn. Just, really, dude? Where's the more? Yeah, okay, here we go. Mortal counter. Veilastraz was way cooler than you, dude. Just saying. Hey, Lapstick. Let's do it.
Well met.
The time is ours. We attack. Quick, let's go.
Bless you.
The Worm Rest Accords are... yeah, they're not really with us at this exact moment in time. They also think that their matters are more important than our matters. Basically, the fact that the Blue Dragonflight is attacking them is more important to them than the Blue Flight attacking us. And, okay, a little bit of that makes sense. I free you, Archmage, Twitface. I don't remember her name. I thank you, friend of Dalaran. We mustn't tarry her. Stay close. I'll get us someplace safe. Ugh. Okay, then. Hey, he's got some test goods. What do you have to sell? A oh my god, why would you sell those? Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? You don't just sell torture devices that... neural needlers. I mean, just the name. Do I need to say anything about that? Just... oh, God. Yeah. Anyways.
Need help?
Your heroic efforts will not be forgotten. Please take this with my sincerest thanks. I am aware of your recent deeds here, and I thank you again. As for this local menace, we've learned all we can from them. They'll be dealt with in short order. Now, to more important issues. Azeroth needs you. Again? The region just west of here is in the center of an urgent crisis. Yeah, I know, we're fighting the Scourge, that's why... no, it's not the Scourge? We're here for something else. Okay. Sure.
Go with honor, friend.
Let's go fight something. They're perfecting the torture device. What they just said was, I think I'd get it this time. How'd that feel? The more pain we can inflict, the quicker we can get our answers. And they're testing it on each other. Like I said, whether you agree with Malygos' conclusions or not. In other words, some people agree with Malygos' conclusions. Lorerun is not technically a kingdom at all. The Kirin Tor have the political influence of a kingdom, but they are not actually a kingdom of their own right. The Kirin Tor are primarily composed of high elves, blood elves, and humans. There are also dwarves, gnomes. You know, there's no race that's forbidden, per se. So, when we speak again, so Morgan, we speak again. When you heard my words, you may wish we had not. I've been mindful of your efforts. Do not feign surprise. Surely you felt my eye on you. The time has come to peel back a layer of darkness from your mind. There are stark truths you have grown ready to accept. Before hearing the tale, you will be shown firsthand what we face. Put your affairs in order, Death Knight. Whoa, gosh. They're not one of the original human kingdoms, no. They're not one of the ones that was formed out of Erethdor. Oh, you added the aren't. Yeah, okay, yeah. So correct. They are not. Let's add that mortal counter before I forget. So this is when you actually have the Nexus shown off. And the Caldera in general. This place looks awesome. Just in general. What's funny is, I wonder what this place used to look like. A lot of this cracking in the ground and that purple arcane energy through the ripped earth, that's recent. Nicolau, I am running that raid, why do you ask? So this is recent damage that was done to this place because of the ley lines being redirected through here. Yeah, you really need to get this picture. This place looks awesome. This is a nice touch, by the way. Just check, you gotta see what this means. So, here's the area, and there's just an ordinary... Now, okay, it's kind of hard to tell. But there's basically this, like, illusory spell, which I'm only getting at certain correct angles. There we go, kind of like that. Which is showcasing that this is just another spot in the terrain. It's supposed to not look like this. You know, it's supposed to not look like this purple bubble. It's a... It's an illusory bubble. So when you go in, it's like, aha! They're in here, literally maintaining the bubble in order to keep this little outpost safe. It's a,
King's honor, friend. Be careful.
It's a beachhead, basically. And who wouldn't want to see Jaraxxus, Eredar Lord of the Burning Legion?
How are you?
Oh, what a relief it is to see a fresh face. I was beginning to think we'd been forgotten. Our supply lines were cut off days ago, and things have been looking, well, bleak. To be honest, if this was a suicide mission to begin with, maybe I'm simply not out for all this cut out for all this violence. To say nothing of the cold, I'd much rather be back in Lorerun studying ancient texts. To the point. Our food supply is nearly out. Please, go gather what you can for us.
See you later.
Yeah, no kidding, Raskor. As an aside, by the way, one other little tidbit to share about this place. I'm not going to get the angle right. One of the tidbit to share about this place, or about this in general, this whole Nexus War, most mages are not built to fight. Most mages do not actually... They're not combat mages. They're not martially trained. They don't have the ability to be up on the front lines like other people do. It's the exact same problem the priests had back in Warcraft 1, and why so many of those priests and clerics died. That's why they created paladins, you know? I was actually kind of hoping, because there's this undercurrent thread of most of these mages have no idea how to deal with all these problems. And so they keep constantly trying to hire other people to do most of their heavy lifting for them, notably us, the player characters. I was really hoping that we would actually get to see a battle mage, like either spec or new class or something out of this, in the same way that paladins came out of the Warcraft 1. I just think that would be a really cool thing, you know? Or maybe even just a lore thing, even if we can't play as them. A whole new order of battle mages. But none of that came to fruition, so whatever. This is war. mortal. And we are the tip of the spear. Your little spats over land or currency pale in comparison to this conflict. We face the aspect Malygos and his entire blue dragon flight, except for Calicos and Saragosa and like 5 other guys. All you need to know is that if he is victorious, the world will die. So once again, Malygos actually thinks he's doing the world a favor, but as pointed out, if he actually succeeded at redirecting all the ley lines and ripping them out of the world, Azeroth would be destroyed. Like, actually detonated, destroyed, you know? Just another indicator of how far gone Malygos is at this point in time. No, Nicolau. No new races. We are but few here, and we fly against many. Our deaths are all but a certainty. Go now. Busy yourselves while I decide what to do with you. Actually, no, it isn't, Kay. If I'm being honest. Mortal. No, that was always something else.
What can I do for you?
Welcome to Koldara. Under the Transitus shield, we lie hidden just a stone's throw from the Nexus. Hey, Genghis. Fortress of the great aspect Malygos and the Blue Dragonflight. Do make yourself comfortable.
For the Alliance.
I had hoped that the Nexus's impact was limited to this region. Recently, though, reports have flooded in from all over Azeroth, suggesting that geological instability is growing exponentially. I need the Nexus monitored regularly as I work to develop a solution. I've placed sensitive instruments around Koldara, disguised as Malygos' own scrying orbs.
Be careful.
Also, it's become clear that the instability here has had an effect on the indigenous creatures. I've taken particular interest in the glacial ancients and their recent adaptations. I suspect their transformation into these magic-bound ancients may have a clue to our predicament here.
For the Alliance.
Also, Banoth, my answer would be Warcraft. As my favorite setting. Obviously, I suppose. So, it's a bit of a shame that all this arcane energy is so damaging and so violently horrible. Because it's so damn pretty. You'll see what I mean most especially when we get to Lorerun, of all places. Oh, there it is. I know it was around here somewhere. But you'll see what I mean as soon as we do the Nexus, which we're going to be doing as soon as we finish this series of quests, actually. And I mean, just look at this. Like, all this blue, this is literally just chunks of ice and earth that have been split apart by raw arcane energy, but it looks so pretty. Look at it. Look at it. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done. Ugh. We can also see the Ents around here, the Ancients, have been fundamentally altered by the severe amount of magic that's been pumped into them from this area. And I just have to imagine that's got to be horrifyingly painful. Well, I forget who said this, so forgive me for quoting someone I don't know who they are, but space is gorgeous and also the most dangerous environment known to mankind. Pretty things tend to be horrifyingly dangerous, deadly things as well. Hey, look! It's an orc! He's probably thinking, damn that Alliance scum. As well he should. All Alliance are scum. Especially and... Wait, no, that's not true. Hey, I am literally saving their life here, Raskor. I don't know if that was DeGrasse Tyson. I really don't. Space is big. I mean, really big. I have never done so, no, Junkies. Sadly. But again, you can see how bad the energy is literally ripping apart the land. I really wish we could see the terrain changes active, because I would love to see the land really just pulled apart as the arcane energy is shoving its way out through the crevice, you know? I can picture it. I can imagine it through this area. That's actually not true, Psychotic. We have seen one other in old vanilla Wintergrasp. Okay, fine, Darker. If you want to bullet technically, space is the second most deadly blah, 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 blah. And yet it's very pretty. I can't even remember her name. It's the one we see again when we go back to Ubris, the new Ubris. Oh, that's gonna bother me. What's his name? He was a whelp in vanilla. He's actually a full-grown drake as of Cataclysm. I can't think of it. Albi? Was that her name? Or his name? I think that is right. What's the ETA on Icecrown? Man, I don't know. If I was to say very, very roughly... what is today? Today's Wednesday, so... Possibly the 29th. If I keep pace, which I can't promise. That's... Don't hold me to that, okay? See you around, Screenburn. Now, here's an odd question for you. If you were approached by a member of Malygos' Blue Flight, and they were like, hey, so, you can join us, or you can be against us. Take your pick. Which would you choose? I don't think anything specific happens, Magister. Although we've come very, very close with both the black and the blue dragon flights now. Since there are 2 black dragons and... I forget how many. It's like 20 or something blue dragons. They say it in something. Well, all you have to do is be capable of depraved acts of horrible evil. And there you go. The thing is, I find myself wondering why so many people would agree to go with Malygos. Now, I know that sounds like a weird question. I'm the guy who has argued why it's logical that certain, sane, sentient beings who would actually be willing to join the Twilight Hammer, for God's sakes. Why people would willingly join the Legion. Why people would willingly join the Scourge. And yet here, I can't help but notice that this is just one of the most illogical groups to join. Their goal is ripping all of the magic out of the world, which, at the absolute best possible circumstance, will irrevocably change all life forever. And the only thing else that could probably happen is everything being destroyed. And it's not like they're going after the disenfranchised. Some of the Twilight's Hammer people can get on board with the idea of, yes, kill it all, because their lives have been miserable. They've been going through hell for years, or they don't care anymore, or they don't understand the stakes. The only people that Malygos has recruited are mages. Mages who understand at least some degree of the consequence of what he's trying to do. And mages are the ones who are willing to join Malygos and say, oh yeah, no, I'll totally help you destroy the world. I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be bad eggs and whatnot, but I just don't get it. You know? It's the least logical, oh yeah, I'll totally join your evil group organization in the setting, in my opinion. Come here. Now, what Psychotic said is it's entirely possible that the choice thing was taken out of hand. As we find out from that troll in Dragonblight, yeah, it's very, very possible there just was no option given. It's like, nope, you join us or you die. So... That is... whoops, I forgot a couple readings. I don't know. I just don't get it. Other than, again, the whole, you know, join us or die argument. That's all I get. That's the only argument that makes sense in my head. I know, I'm a terrible person. What do you want from me? He's a wound in the Force. I hope not. Nope. Ha! Yeah, Koldara actually sucks a lot when you can't fly. No, thank you. Oop. Also, hey, Meal. I wanted to make one more attempt at the name. Meal Shenrik? Did I do that right? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Oh, God. I also have to admit, at least in the case of, like, the Scourge, it's literally service in life or service in death. So they're not actually giving you a choice in the strictest sense of the word. The worst these guys can do you is kill you to death. Okay, that's a lie. They can do a lot worse than kill you. There's a bunch of other people questing here, which is why I'm low on respawns. In case you're wondering what's going on here. No, Venters, I have no interest in doing any of those for the Lorerun. There's no reason to. There's no benefit behind it. I can discuss the dungeons elsewise in better circumstances. And time walking isn't really a lore thing in any sense that matters. There's a quest, which is like, oh, fascinating, there's this time thing. And that's it. It's the same amount of lore relevance that Hyjal has, as was discussed previously. Considering that they do Psychotic? Yes. See you around, Mulder Fox. Have a good one. Henrik. Okay, I will try that. No promises, though. I am very bad with names. Oh my god. I still need 2 of these damn things. Yep. And see you around, Nether. Have a good one. Wait. So what you're trying to tell me is Malygos is secretly Cam Clark. Dude, no. Liquid Snake is not Malygos. Give me a freaking break. Oh my god, this is stupid. I need one more. Stupid other players. Why can't I just play this game in a single-player environment? That would make everything better. No, I'm lying. I would rather play a co-RPG. So in other words, I'm playing single-player unless my friends are on. Seriously. I would pay for that. Screw other players! Wait, why is Bolvar Gandalf? Other than the fact that they both got, burned to death and killed. Okay, now that we're done with that.
Well met.
Alright. Have you collected the samples I requested? Yes, these will do nicely, thank you.
Light bless you.
You mean the one in Westfall, Psychotic? This is worse than I expected. Malygos is channeling way too much power into these places. If he's not stopped, Azeroth is going to be the next Outland. Yup. I've engineered a temporary solution.
Go with honor, friend.
I'm not going to tell you it, because you need to do other quests first.
Good day to you.
Here, have some food, you poor belligerent mages. Also, you can conjure food. Our existence here depends entirely upon staying hidden. Should the shield fall, even for a moment, Malygos' minions would have us. One of my responsibilities is to rejuvenate the war mages' mana levels so their focus doesn't falter. With our supply lines lost, I've been forced to improvise. I could use your help. Near the Nexus are arcane serpents. Once defeated, they will make use of a mana essence I can make use of.
Safe travels.
I think I misread that. Anyways, alright, Death Knight. Now that you've become familiar with the enemy, it's time for you to get to work. Wait, what have you found? It was wise of you to bring this to me. If you desire to contribute to your efforts, no matter the risk, I shall share with you its meaning. You've discovered the fragment of a spectral prison, Xylom. Malygos' minions use similar prisons to hold the captured mages and other arcane entities, but this prison was constructed to hold something stronger. In hopes that the enemy of our enemy will prove to be a friend, you must search out the prison's remaining fragments. They're likely to be in the possession of his most trusted enemies. Or allies. Our goals here are simple. We are to remain hidden from Malygos, to observe his brood and thwart his efforts. To that end, I have a task for you. The Blues are laying eggs at the base of the Nexus. Exposure to this much arcane energy will make them hatch sooner, and there's no telling what the effect will be on their spawn. I don't intend to find out. Yeah, by the way, I agree, Malygos' eggs... Okay, so they're trying to quickly and rapidly reproduce their numbers, because again, the blue dragonflight is still rather small in population. So they're arcanely infusing their own eggs to try and make them hatch quicker. I mean, do I even really need to comment on how incredibly dangerous and horrifying that is? Just, oh my god. Anyways, in response to what Pyromancer said, right, I need an axe. That is actually a good point. That is a good point that they might not have anyone there who has the capacity to cast that spell. And, on top of that, they might also not have the ability to cast it without being obvious. In other words, if they cast that spell, it might give away their location. It might be the kind of thing that would be more difficult to hide. If they cast any spell, it might be more difficult to hide from the Transitus shield. You know? And no, he's referring to events in Pandaria. Hang on. Oh, I'm attacking the wrong thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill you for no reason. My bad. Yes, we have, Psychotic. We have indeed. Arcane eggs could be bombs. How would that sound for fun? Whoops, right. That's right. God, this is so much better with a flying mount. How can anyone ever dislike flying? Oh my god. I'm kidding. I know there's plenty of valid reasons to dislike flying. I just don't agree with any of them. If you don't want to fly, then don't. It's fine. You can do that. I'm totally cool with that. Just don't make me not be able to fly, damn it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, there are actually quite a few people who really hate that flying was added to the game. There are people who actually think that flying being added to the game was one of the biggest mistakes the game's ever made, that it's actually one of the things that has ruined World of Warcraft. And then there are people who have legitimate, real grievances against flying. So, yeah. Now, Magister, you're not arrogant. You're just... You're doing things for their own benefit. It's for their own good to be on fire. This way they could learn more about life and to appreciate what they really have. Yeah, I believe Rigel is one of those people who actively dislikes flying. To which I say, wee. Okay, moving on. I have, however, I will say this, no one has ever actively convinced me of any, most of the time when someone says something that I disagree with, I at least get their perspective. No one who's told me their reasons for disliking flying have I ever actually managed to agree with, like, at all. I've never gotten along with that idea. And again, I mean no offense by it, it's just no one's ever given me a reasoning that I agree with. Now, killing eggs of blue dragons? Totally okay with that. Death to the blue eggs. You know, Psychotic, I think you're on to something there. Wait, you mean like this, right here? Fun little factoid. When we first got to 70, back in BC, our first reaction was, man, why would we have to, why would we bother getting flying? And then we discovered one little factoid, which we weren't actually, this is going to sound so basic now, but we didn't know at the time. You could log off while flying. So in other words, you could log off basically anywhere. You could just be like, and log off, and bam, done. That's what actually sold us on flying back in the day. The crap flying, of course. Oh, damn it. Really? Dude, really? No, I think vanilla was bad regardless of flying. But of course, that's another point of contention for me amongst some WoW players. I should rephrase that. The vanilla leveling experience was bad. The vanilla story was bad. The gameplay mechanics of vanilla were bad. There was some good there. And this place is farmed to hell and back. Yes, those are actually arcane serpents. Okay. They're not actually made of matter in the strictest sense of the word. Those are pretty much just concentrated magic. Phantoms, if they can interact with the physical realm, yes. Oh, right, I need to go get this. The raid experience was pretty good. Other than MC, I will agree, the raid experience was pretty awesome. I had a lot of fun in Blackwing Lair. I had a lot of fun in AQ40 and TAC and RAC and Zul'Gurub. I enjoyed going into Noxuramas. I enjoyed dungeoning back in vanilla. I hated leveling in vanilla. God, I hated leveling in vanilla so much. It was such a damn chore going through 1 through 6. Well, 1 through 58, actually. Whoop. Yeah, I'm actually hoping for Sir Arthur to give me his reasoning for hating flying. Rigel's given his reason, so I get that.
King's honor, friend.
I'm not sure, actually, Magister, because one of the problems with that is we know for a fact that that vision... Well, okay. The reason that Nozdormu turned into Murloc was because the old gods influenced a vision he saw in the future, so... Okay, this timeline, okay? So right about here, Nozdormu's like, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da. This is about where we are. Sometime in the future, he was influenced to go back and be, oh my god, everything in the universe is terrible and horrible. Quick, we must destroy everything. Creates the infinite flight, goes back, alters history, gets defeated, completes the cycle, loses his power, that cycle gets destroyed, and that timeline never actually happened. The problem is it's actually inconsistent with its own time, for reasons that I'll get to in a minute. Unless Nozdormu turned into Murloc in the past, but that doesn't actually line up. So again... It's actually inconsistent time travel, and I really, really hate to say that, because it really bothers me when there's just flat-out bad writing in a game that I like. But there it is. It's just flat-out bad writing, so that's that thing. But anyways, with regards to the Norganon thing specific... Or no, was it Norganon? No, it wasn't Norganon. It was, shoot, I can't think of the guy who empowered Nozdormu. But anyways, to my knowledge, that has been retconned.
The Alliance.
Yes, to my knowledge, the aspects never actually encountered the actual Titans. I'm not 100% certain about that, though. So, not sure. Anyways, what was I doing? I was reading Hylisk's comment. That's right. Scroll up. Nice. Hylisk. No, Khazrakal was a demon. You're gonna make me look it up now. Hang on. Amonthul. Amonthul is the guy who empowered the Bronze Flight. That is true, Drago Demon. That is absolutely true. Back to the Future is another good example of inconsistent time travel that still, nevertheless, is an entertaining story. But there's no denying the fact that the time travel in WoW is inconsistent. It is written inconsistently. So, whatever.
Hello.
Right, we have the mana essence. Here you go. I hope this payment will be sufficient. Yes, thank you for the payment. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Well, like I said, it is inconsistent writing. That I use that term very deliberately because it is. It is literally, this writing does not line up with itself. So, Alright. It pains me to order the destruction of dragon eggs, enemy or no. The blues have begun to cover their drakes in mysterious runes. I must discover the significance. He pokes his hand with a spear and coats the tip with blood. Take this and use it on one of them. Wait for it to become subdued, then bring it to me here before it expires. Okay, I can do that. One of my favorite time travel stories ever is actually a Futurama one, where they change history so it acts as if history never happened, and they slowly reveal the fact that none of the events ever actually happened, kind of in a weird, sort of awesome way. It's great. But anyways, moving on. I will say this. This is just me being hopeful, Magister. It is possible that the events that led to Galakrond and the aspects being found, basically, are not actually incongruent with the actual Titans having left, because we don't have an exact time stamp on when that happened. There we go. Come on, let me mount. Let me mount. Let me mount. There you go. So it is entirely possible that because of those events happening so long ago, that was still when the Titans were actually here and not just their Watchers. So even though the Watchers are the one who brought the various aspects to the attention of the Titans, it's possible the Titans themselves are the ones who still empowered them. We're not 100% sure of that because the writer never bothered to write that part. This is horrible, by the way. So we bring this captured Netherdrake here so he can burn him alive. And study his corpse. That's not a joke. That's what he's doing. The fate of these young Drake need not burden your conscience, Worgen. Malygos alone is accountable for this. I am working ceaselessly to uncover the secrets of these ruins. We shall take no more lives than we must. I sense a distinct peculiarity in the Drakes here, but the meaning of the runes still eludes me. Without a codex, it will take more time than I have to interpret them. Not far from here is a Kirin Tor traitor, Kalaros, who is likely to have a copy of what I require. Hurry, Malygos. Malygos gains strength with every passing moment. What? Oh, that's why. There we go. What? But I got... Oh, god damn it, I have to get the runes, too. Damn it! I got the thing! Oh, I forgot to get the other thing. Sorry. I'll be right back. Be right back. This won't take me long. You guys. Also, if the old lore about Wormkin is still true, it makes me wonder how many of these people here were willingly or unwillingly converted into Wormkin in order to serve in the Nexus War. If you don't know what I mean by that, in the old lore, again, I don't know if this has been updated, those things right there, those are Dragonkin, and they used to be people. They are people that have been converted into that. And yeah, that's another nice touch. Their dogs are completely messed up because they actually have runes carved into them and are glowing and just, yeah. There's... Malygos is quite literally playing with fire. Arcane fire in this case. And this is why I mentioned that he's insane and why anybody who actually willingly goes along with him is insane, because there's really no... rational explanation for the lengths he's willing to go for the ends he wants to accomplish. Hurry, mortal. You have done well. Let us hope for a clue we can use against Malygos. That was a mortal thing. Mortal counter. Okay. The cell. Yes, I've recovered the other pieces of it. It is done. I sense a strong presence within. Let us hope it proves to be an ally. Well, let's find out. Carriestraza! Oh, I hope to God we don't have to kill you later. I am free? I was destined to spend an eternity roaming in that empty abyss, and now I am saved? You cannot fathom my gratitude. When I refused to bend to his will, Malygos bound me to that prison, then shattered it and scattered the pieces. Should I live 100 of your lifetimes, I will not forget this kindness. Perhaps in time I will find a way to repay you. For now, though, I must focus our attention on Malygos. I am weak, and there's much that needs to be done. To make this point clear, by the way, he trapped her in basically an arcane pocket dimension, and then shattered the pieces of the device that kept her trapped there. So she would just be floating in this abyss of total nothing forever. What the hell? Oh, and by the way, the reason Malygos did this was because she refused to betray the rest of the Red Flight. For that crime, he was willing to sentence her to eternity in the worst prison imaginable. During my captivity, I was able to learn much about Malygos. Fate now allows us to use this knowledge against him. There's a great blue dragon, Saragosa, who circles high above the Nexus. She is the Aspect's guardian and his current consort. What happened to Saragosa? If any serious threats arise, she alerts her master of the danger. I suffered greatly at the hands of Saragosa during my captivity, and her time to die has come. At first, however, we must get the bait. Up there's one. So in case you can't tell what we're doing, these are crystallized mana. We're gathering crystallized mana that has erupted from these reckless ley line redirections that Malygos has been doing. So blue dragons really enjoy mana. They really enjoy eating mana, more or less literally. I think you see where this is going. Have you gathered the shards I require? Oh, thank you. I'm drained from the effects of my confinement, and my strength is returning ever so slowly. I shall use the power in these crystals wisely. They are a byproduct of Malygos' malevolent schemes. With luck, they'll play a part in his undoing. Using the mana crystals, I have created a power focus. Saragosa is a glutton. She'll be unable to resist its lure. Inside it lie magics that will greatly diminish her power. Let us hope she does not see through my ruse. Prepare yourself, and speak with me again when you're ready. I didn't say that he wasn't insane for a reason. He had his best friend turn on him, wipe out almost his entire brood, over half of his brood, injure him to the point of not being able to recover, and killed his wife, Saragosa. So... magic, okay. I don't have a good answer there. Where are we? We seem to be up in the heavens. Way up in the heavens. Actually, check it out. We're way up here. Look at this juicy mana. Hey, Saragosa. Check it out. It's tasty, isn't it? Ah! And now you're gonna die. There we go. Got her corpse. Saragosa must not be allowed to live. The world is a better place now that she is no more. But our work is not yet done. The time has come to strike at Malygos himself. Excellent. Yes, she was definitely someone who deserved to die. Malygos is certainly aware that something is amiss. I know him. His focus is fragmented. I am confident I can lure him from the safety of his realm once he learns what has become of Saragosa. Take me to Raylasaz at once, Xylom. He must rouse every dragon he commands to face Malygos. Here, kill. Yeah. Yeah, we basically just did something pretty brutal. We just killed Malygos's consort, like I said. His new consort. Now, a consort is actually a little bit more than a wife or a husband when it comes to dragons. It's basically their second. Their second in command, their second, you know, their best friend, the person they trust the most, you know, all that fun stuff. We just took out that of the Blue Dragon flight. Now, again, she probably deserved it, based on what she did to, I can't think of her name all of a sudden, Corleastraz, but yeah. I see, you are to be commended. I am eager to speak with her again. We owe this opportunity in great part to your efforts. It is only fitting you initiate the attack on Malygos. Take this spark, use it to light the signal fire. Corleastraz will lead you from there. Why is there just a giant blue dragon in here? You know what? I don't want to know. Alright, let's see how the attack goes, shall we, guys? Hopefully this won't bug out, because this has bugged out in the past. There she is. Corleastraz, thank God you're here. Stay close to me. I could not bear any harm to come to you. Look, I can kill Malygos. Just give me another 2 levels and I could kill Malygos. Well, maybe not. Maybe 12 levels. Malygos! So what she does... So, yeah, we just committed a crime of horribleness. We also then shove her corpse onto the ground and burn it. Right about there. Just to really make sure that we have pissed off Malygos as much as possible. So we can kill him. Because, yeah, we really need to at this point in time. So yeah, Malygos is not happy to see his consort being burned. Her corpse burned on the footsteps of his own throne room, basically. Which one, that's so? Because I've been playing 2 so far. So now, as we can see, Malygos has actually come out of hiding. He is really pissed off. And there's tons of red drakes just flying around trying to attack him here. Which is actually kind of a foolhardy attack. And I don't mind telling you, completely fails. That's what Malygos looks like, though. He's pretty cool looking. He's voiced by Cam Clark. It's actually probably my favorite voice that Cam Clark does in WoW. Also, hi, Shadow. We're about to destroy the Lord of Magic, basically. And by that, I mean that's not what's going to happen. See you around, Azura. I will res you as undead soon. And there will be no more pain. As long as you kill people. Wait, no, I don't want to raise you as that kind of undead. Never mind. That's kind of self-defeating, really. Because he's trying to destroy the entire planet, okay? And he's willing to torture and enslave and do some other pretty horrible stuff in order to accomplish it. When I say destroy the planet, I kind of mean shatter the planet, though, not destroy. There's a pretty good chance chunks of Azeroth would survive in the Twisting Nether. Just like Outland survived. Not much consolation for the billions who perished, but, you know, whatever. Hey, Corleastraz. Hurry, Xylem, flee! Live to finish what we've begun here. Whoa! 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 That's a lot of ice that Malygos is using there. Corleastraz, you've bested my consort. And now, You will take her place. That's creepy even for dragons. I just feel like saying these are not like lions where killing someone else to claim their mate is kind of an okay normal thing. No, these are dragons. Sentient, sapient, self-aware, free will dragons who he just basically claimed her, kidnapped her, and claimed, you're going to be my new consort. Now, we did actually hurt Malygos there. And that is actually relevant that we hurted Malygos there, by the way. You're welcome, Ricky. I'm glad you liked it. So... yeah. Whoops, I'm not Horde. I'm not Horde. So to explain in brief, while we get ready for our next little section here, he now only deals +4 spell damage. Malygos has just kidnapped her and is going to spend the next insert period of time here. Not that long, but a decent chunk of time. We're basically supposed to be able to do the dungeon right after that storyline of time. So a day maybe. He is now torturing her in order to get her to submit to his will. If you're paying attention, this is the second time he has tried to convince her to join his side. Except this time, he's not content with her actually just joining him. He wants her to be his new consort. Now, this again shows how diseased Malygos has become at this point in time. Understandable or no, he is trying to force someone to be his consort. And once again, that's not just about mating with the dragons. That's your second in command. That's your most trusted advisor. That's your closest friend. And the person you spend the rest of your life with and actually have children with. And he is trying to torture her into submission. That just shows how far gone Malygos is. And one of the reasons why he has to go. It's a kindness at this point in time that Malygos gets killed. He is gone. And yeah, there is probably some humiliation going in there as well, given the fact that she killed his previous consort. So... I don't believe Naltharion and Alexstrasza had any particular relationship going on. Not that I'm aware of. I'm thinking. Give me a minute. The only pre-existing relationship I really know about was that Naltharion and Malygos were really good friends, and Izara and Alexstrasza were very close as well. Yeah, I thought about going ahead and doing the Eye of Eternity now. I have since decided not to, because it flows more naturally at the end game, especially after we've done Dragonblight. You really want to go through the rest of it. Oh, by the way, yeah, we'll get into more of that in just a minute. I just want to get into position here. And yeah, Deathwing's always been fascinated with the idea of the chromatic flight. Also, how good are druids? Night Elf druids? They can make flowers grow in the snow. That is pretty impressive if you think about it. Actually, we're going to go ahead and do the Nexus right now, since we pretty much just led right into that storyline-wise. And yeah, so okay, I just realized I misunderstood Magister's question. You'll notice we're already here and ready to go. Naltharion didn't really have any big, coordination or otherwise relationships with anyone other than Malygos. Deathwing was going to literally enslave the other aspects as his personal sex slaves. keeping in mind that sex isn't even that big of a deal for dragons. I mean, it's there for mating, and that's basically it. So the idea that he'd want that at all, once again, shows just how gone Deathwing is. So, here we are.
Hey there.
Archmage Dudeface loaned me his research on the Arcanomicron. It's a kind of a map that Malygos is trying to assemble. I made the mistake of discussing it with a group of Alliance adventurers, and now it's gone. It must have then. Please recover the book from those Alliance scum.
See you around. How are
Because
you?
it's the storytelling style they go for. That's annoying. I've learned in my short time, more in my short time here than decades of study. The ancients here are being exposed to incredible levels of arcane energy. It's literally transforming them. I'm confident there's a final stage of their metamorphosis. Find me some evidence of the final state. Okay, I can try
See you
that.
later. You need something?
Oh, hang on. I
Safe
should go over
travels.
here real quick.
How are you?
Azeroth's ley lines are being redirected to the Nexus. The influx of arcane energies is literally tearing a rift between dimensions. I can't stop it, but I've discovered a way to slow it down. Take this and activate it near the forming rift.
Have a good one.
So in case you can't tell, these three mages are powering all their power into this one
You
mage,
need something?
who is trying to channel that magic into repairing the broken ley lines around here. Malygos has taken Carriastraza to serve as a consort. We cannot allow this to come to pass. You must do whatever in your power to spare her from such a fate. Although
See
we
you
will
around.
have to do that last because we have to. We have to finish the rest of the dungeon first. This dungeon never bothered me. I don't know why. I tanked it a lot back in the day. And I don't know what else to add to that. So it never really bothered me, and I love the aesthetics of this place a lot. It is very pretty, and I like the music in here. It basically combines two concepts, visually, that I enjoy a great deal. Arcane and Frost. So, these guys kind of suck. All of these have their own little mechanics of irritation. These are Alliance, by the way, because I am Horde. If I was Horde, they would be... if I was Alliance, they would be Horde. There's also a second boss here, if you happen to be the opposite side. Some cool designs here, though. There's this dragon statue over there. This whole area just looks really neat, I think. You can kind of see inside to where the arcane platforms are. We're basically underneath the Caldera right here. Of course the other side would attack you. Because idiots. Yeah, So, first boss is Grand Magus, Telastra. It is rumored that the Grand Magus tutored Prince Kael'thas. Although she believed the prince allying with the Naga was foolish, she could not support Dalaran imprisoning her people. Malygos only needed a reminder of this betrayal to gain her as an instructor for his mage hunters. That's actually kind of funny. That's... wow. There you go. There's a legitimate reason for someone to join Malygos' forces. Being reminded of how stupid the Dalaran people have been in the past.
You know what they say about curiosity. Damn the luck.
And down you go. And a toenail. We should probably kill all of Malygos' forces while we're here. Just to be absolutely sure. I mean, you never know. And yeah, I did that a few months ago, Sainty. Of course, the only reason we could ever possibly have killed a Grand Magus is with luck. Yeah, by the way, those Mage Slayers suck. Like, on everything, ever. So you might wonder, well, Arsh, maybe you can explain to me what one of the downsides is of having a ridiculous amount of arcane power summoning into a single area. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but you see how the very torches are kind of being dragged away into something. It's almost as if there's like some kind of arcane black hole rift in reality up there that's distorting everything into this nightmare land of doom. I should do this. We used to not do this because we had so many pet classes, warlocks and hunters, so we would always go around rather than bothering to desummon, resummon. It's only one additional pack after all. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to get you a much better view of this thing. So as you can see, it's literally just drawing everything into it over here. Which spec was the hardest to master? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's nothing to worry about, too. I mean, look at this. This just looks safe. Look at it. One nice touch. All of these other platforms are circular. This one is more like a little bit more pear-shaped because it's literally being twisted and pulled into the rift. In fact, if you look over there, you can see there's a few that have been a little bit morphed around by that. No, Hylisk, back during Frozen Throne, when Garithos decided to imprison Kael'thas and his blood mages, he imprisoned them in Lorerun, and Lorerun was more than okay to take all of those people into their into the Violet Hold. See, everything's getting, that's a good word, everything's getting spaghettified as we get up here. This is just terrifying to me, by the way. This is just the severe level of how stupid Malygos' plan is, and how damaging it is. This is a byproduct. This is not him actually doing any of this on purpose. This just happens because of the raw amount of magic he's channeling through this area. Not really, Nothrazim. Not personally, anyways. Directing so much of Azeroth's arcane energy through the Nexus has created terrors in reality. As Malygos' forces try to drive back the invading creatures, the chaotic arcane power has taken form known as anomalous. If this creature is not stopped, it will unmake whatever it touches. So yeah, this is basically a pure arcane elemental here.
Chaos beckons. Of course.
Later on when we fight Malygos, he actually has a comment saying, the powers contained here could destroy the world 10 times over. Some people think that's an idle boast. It's not. That is just the severe amount of power he has gathered there. The only reason he didn't do it was because of the fact that he wasn't actually trying to destroy the world. That was not his goal. Even in his madness, he never actually did that. No, I didn't let it touch me, Kay. So this is the area I wanted to mention about how pretty and horrible it was to see the effects of arcane manipulation. Look at these trees. These didn't used to look like this, by the way. These didn't used to have this appearance to them. You can see the leaves and the bushes, even the elementals here, the Ents and the crystalline protectors. Look at these. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. This chase is just very, very pretty for me. I really enjoy the look of the arcane nature, for lack of a better term. Hey, Fuke. It's the best lore run ever. Or the worst lore run ever, depending on who you ask. In fact, just to really hammer the point in here. Hang on a second. These used to be dryads. Now they're basically arcane dryads. And you can kind of see what arcane power does to a dryad as well. You can kind of see how much it's completely warped and distorted them. It even affects creatures of stone. Oh crap, you're right, I did. I always do that. Every single time I go through here, I forget to seal the rift. It's okay, I'm a rogue. This won't take too long. I would give so much for something that reduces the cooldown on sprint. Even more, I mean, than it already is. It's already just a minute cooldown, which is pretty fast, really. I've been having a lot of fun with the Lorerun. I do feel occasionally I don't have a lot of lore to share, but I usually have something to talk about, so I haven't had any real dead spaces. Not counting some of the Outland BC stuff. Absolutely it does, Kay, yes. Yeah, Arcane, there's very little Arcane can't change, you know. Burst of speed, burst of speed, burst of speed. What is burst of speed? Ah! Ah, gotcha. Oh, right, I used the teleport behind target thing. That's why, apparently. Why is sealing the rift important? I don't even know how to answer that, Fuke. Why is sealing a black hole in the middle of a city important? That's the answer. There we go. Okay, hopefully that'll shut that off for now. An unsealed rift loses its... The moment you drive a rift off the lot, you know? Oh, it costs energy. That's why I didn't take it originally. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll try that out. We'll put that there. What? No, you're not allowed to. Go away, go away. Yeah, I'd say at least Murmur tier, personally. Wait, oh shoot, I need to put it into this tab as well. There we go. Okay. Back to your regularly scheduled program. I will never do that work, Magister. Never, ever, ever. And it definitely won't be one of the first lore runs I've ever done. I think... Wait, Magister, did you genuinely not know that? Yeah, the Warcraft 3 lore run was either the first or second lore run I ever did. I forget if it was that or Kingdom Hearts 2. It was one of them. Okay, good news, guys. We can go save Cariastrasa. Now, the bad news is Malygos has kind of carved some arcane runes onto her scales, which is really messed up when you think about it. I mean, seriously, he carved arcane runes into her flesh. And remember, we've already been talking about runes, especially in the Howling Fjord, and how much that can have a very powerful impact on someone. So basically... Remember those giants we saw, where the iron dwarves were marking runes into them that controlled them? That's kind of what Malygos is doing here, in addition to the fact that she's frozen in ice, which I know you're thinking, oh, that's just magic. No, that's terrible, painful, horrible ice. And so this is what she sounds like now.
Preserve? Why? There's no truth in it. No. Only in the taking. I see that now.
By the way, what she means by preserve is Alexstrasza is the life preserver. So I'm going to try really hard not to one-shot her. Yeah, not enough damage. Damn it. Okay, one more.
Finish it! Finish it! Kill me or I swear by the Dragon Queen you'll never see daylight again.
That quote really bothers me. She literally demands that you kill her in such a violent, horrible way.
Dragon Queen. Life Binder. Preserve me.
Goodbye, Cariastrasa. Malygos, I am going to kill the snot out of you. Not right now. A little later.
Hello.
Fascinating. And these crystalline ents are aggressive too, you say? That would suggest that some intelligence is behind this manipulation. It may not be natural after all. No, it's very unnatural.
Safe travels. Hey there.
Have you sealed the rift? Excellent work. The tremors have already begun to subside. With any luck, our efforts will have granted sufficient time to thwart Malygos' attempts.
See you later. Good day to you.
Please tell me you found my book that those Alliance scum stole. Ah, it's all here. Thank you. Take this. With my gratitude.
See you around. You need something?
So it is done then. Our kind will never forget the sacrifice Cariastrasa made for the cause.
Have a good one.
What chat window, okay? What are you talking about? Now I'm confused. Oh, you mean this thing. Okay, so this is the this is to show you what you're wearing. So in other words, it only it gets rid of all your other gear and just shows you what that piece of gear looks like. That way you can look at it and see what it looks like without being distracted by the rest of your gear. Which Trek finale do I like the most? I'm gonna have to go with All Good Things, but I'm very tempted by What You Leave Behind. I suppose I just do this really quick. And this. So I'm gonna go and do the Oculus now. It doesn't quite, you're not actually supposed to do it now, but it doesn't quite fit anywhere else storyline-wise, so we're just going to get this over with. Malygos and his underlings grow stronger in power with each passing day, and now our assault team has been captured and is being held in the Oculus. We must attempt to... Actually, you know what? It occurs to me, never mind. I've changed my mind. This actually fits a little bit better after the events of Dragonblight. Changed my mind. Changed my mind. So, in my opinion, Oculus had the single hardest achievement to do when you were trying to get the red proto-drake. It was the one to do it under a certain time limit. We actually spent entire practice sessions nailing down exactly how we were going to do it and exactly in what order, and just we had everything mapped out. And when we finally did it, it was the last one we actually got. We were very, very proud to have pulled that off. But I'll talk about that later, because like I said, I think that fits better after Dragonblight. But before we do Dragonblight, we need to go to Orgrimmar. Welcome to Orgrimmar, home of the Horde, and also of an idiot. Don't worry, he's technically not here, because right now, he's in Northrend, being the greatest idiot of all time. In Garrosh's Horde, there will be no room for weakness or failure, only victory and glory. I can't do the voice fully right now. Yeah, well, that one was really just a latency test, Slates. At least that's what we found. It's like, okay, you know, you had to, like, anticipate and be ready to... And I've already hit the button, you know what I mean? That achievement was stupid. What was the other hard one? I feel like there... Oh! The other one we had a really hard time with was fighting the first boss in Ajol Narub. That achievement. I don't remember what it's called, but the one you had to pull all of them at the same time. After Voyager, the next series, not counting Babylon 5, of course, is going to be one of the Star Treks. Still haven't 100% decided which one I'm going to do for that. The one after that is, in other words, the one that's going to replace Babylon 5 is most likely Farscape. Ah, yes. Waiting for the Zeppelin. This is like the slowest Zeppelin in the entire game. And I'm not going to show you why, because it would take a long time. But basically, most Zeppelins do this. There's the two zones they're in, and it's like... And then it goes over here. And in some cases, it's a little more fancy. Sometimes it's like... Well, the one in the Borean Tundra for the Horde does this. It goes into the place, and then it goes out, and then way out, and way over here, and then way down here, and then way over here, and then finally it zones and ends up back in Orgrimmar. And it's like the longest trip in the universe. Oh my god. What, Fuke? Your question makes no sense to me. I must destroy you for your question. But first... Seriously, what are you talking about? Anyways, I'm not actually going to be doing that much in the Borean... Oh, Star Trek The Animated Series. No, I never want to touch that. There's not actually much Horde exclusive stuff in the Borean Tundra. There's the entire arc around the very first Hold, which of course we're going to do. That's very important. And there's a little bit of extra stuff to the north. And that's basically it, actually. Most of the quests in the Tundra are actually neutral. I might do the Tonka quests purely, even though they're a repetition, purely because they give me a chain that leads straight into the Tonka chain in Dragonblight. Haven't decided yet. We'll do those last one way or the other. Well, the first thing that happened, where there were these two guys who were sitting in a room, and they said, you know what would be awesome? If we took this massive setting we've built in Warcraft 3, and we turned it into an MMO. MMOs are big right now. And the other guy said, you know what? No, that's incredibly stupid. Why don't we make it into an RPG? I like that plan. Let's just use the Warcraft 3 engine. And thus, they made Warcraft the RPG. And then their bosses, who worked at Vivendi, said, great idea, make it an MMO. MMOs are popular. And they were like, but we don't know... I mean, we've never made an MMO before. Tough, go make an MMO. Okay. And thus was World of Warcraft born. I am being slightly facetious. Work on the Warcraft RPG, which turned into World of Warcraft, actually started before Frozen Throne even came out. And in fact, you can actually see the test run of the WoW format in Frozen Throne, the Orc campaign, when you're playing as Rexxar in Frozen Throne. That was them testing the waters to see how people liked the gameplay story. Oh, you mean in story? Gotcha. Before I answer that, I just want to show everyone Warsong Hold. So, you know how I was talking all this time about how the Alliance are, like, understaffed and undermanned, and none of their buildings are completely finished, and they're still working on stuff? This is what the Horde built when they came to Northrend. As much as the Horde has many, many problems in Northrend, you can't deny that they came out here prepared for a fight. Look at this place! Look at this! They came here and said, yes! Bam! And they built this thing. And this is how the Horde came to Northrend. Also, it makes that symbol when you look at it from the top, just to really emphasize it. For the Horde's infrastructure. Yeah, Garrosh wanted a war, and he sure as hell brought one. And they had this huge quarry. They basically mined out this entire quarry just to build this freaking fortress. Look at this! They came in and were like, nope, nope, we're making it happen. We're making it happen for the Horde. Anyways, how did World of Warcraft start? That's a much trickier question. It boils down to heat, okay, and power, both. See? They use it for smelting down here, too, to get their weapons going. They're very efficient about it. And again, it's for comfort, so that this place is actually warm. See? You can see it again over here. So, yeah. As you can see, the Horde did not joke around when they came down here. I don't think Arthas gave a damn, to be honest with you. He's like, oh, good, someone's actually taking this seriously. Get to it. Make sure to continue harassing them, minions. Anyways, World of Warcraft, the setting, started because there were these group called Titans, who roamed the cosmos and were like, we must find other titanic life. And they found this planet called Azeroth and kind of fought against... okay, I'm actually skipping ahead of... there's a lot of backstory to it. I don't even know where to start. It boils down to the Titans reforged Azeroth into a livable planet, and in so doing, the livable planet was then, you know, the world that we have in Azeroth, and pretty much every other form of life that has come to be on Azeroth has come because of the Titans' machinations, with only a small number of exceptions to that. I think that's the summary answer. Where's my... Oh, I don't have it. Right. So... there's Garrosh, the idiot. Saurfang is telling an awesome story that I will recite later. Because, you know, I don't want you... she's starting in the middle of it. I'd rather go through the whole thing for you. There it is. I know there's some quests here. Here we go.
Sug.
Thrumcaw, Blood Elf. Welcome to Warsong Hold. My heart swells with pride to see such a distinguished hero of the Horde answer the call of duty. This impregnable fortress is a testament to the tenacity of the Horde. Through much we have battled to establish this foothold. It is from here our journey to Icecrown begins. And it is through the leadership of the Son of Hellscream we will succeed, because he totally gives leadership and doesn't just point in a direction and say, go.
Strength.
I'm glad you're liking it, Kemek.
You will serve the Horde, or be crushed beneath it.
Odd, he should have acknowledged that I did his quests. Oh well, whatever.
Loktar.
Do not let Hellscream dissuade you from your duties as a soldier. He bears the terrible burden of these frozen wastes. No, he doesn't, with the outcome of his charge resulting in victory over the Scourge or extinction of all life on Azeroth. It is for this reason we require your strength and wisdom. The Scourge have begun their assault on this fortress. Our soldiers steady the line, but are in desperate need of backup.
Dabu.
So this is a nice thing. This is actually a map of Northrend, as you can kind of tell here. In fact, there's Icecrown, or, hang on. The zones aren't perfect, actually, it just occurred to me. But anyways, so, here's the Horde forces. You can actually see the Alliance forces right there. All of these represent undead forces. They're absolutely everywhere, because of course they are. Over here, there's the Forsaken camp. There's the Alliance camp and the Horde camp. There's the other Alliance camp. And of course, there's the two primary outposts in Dragonblight. I'm just going to chill here for a moment so they can start talking again, maybe?
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
The raising of Orgrimmar was not just an attack on ours, it was an affront to the Horde, an assault on our very existence. The Lich King sought to sow the seeds of fear. This, he points to the walls around him, this is the result of Arthas's campaign. The Horde fears nothing, least of all using intelligent decision. I don't even know how to make fun of this guy well. He makes fun of himself so adequately. I'll give it another moment. Yeah, screw it. Let's just go do quests. Onwards. Oh, let's grab this really quick. You want me to go to Lorerun.
The dark times will pass.
I'll go later. Yeah, no kidding, Raskor. Alright. For the Horde.
Strength.
Just in time. The Nerubians have seemingly doubled in number in just a week's time. We could use all the help we could get. While Warsong is protected by 10 feet of steel and stone on all sides, the quarry is soft and primed for attacks by the Nerubians. Beyond this quarry stand thousands of Scourge, awaiting orders to attack. Should the Nerubians take down our inner defenses, we will be overrun by the undead legions of Arthas. We can't let that happen, which is why you're going on the offensive. Blood and thunder, take both with you.
For the Horde.
For the Horde. Gilfa. Zug. Or wait, what? Oh, whoops.
Thrallhall.
We can't kill the Nerubians. We can kill all the Nerubians NWC and destroy all the eggs we find. But those won't stop coming until we blow the tunnels and passageways. Of course, we can't do that without some heavy-grade munitions. Unfortunately, our stockpile is being used up by the goblins and our siege and tank and weaponry. We do have some pretty good stuff out in Mightstone Quarry, underneath all the Nerubian crap. You'll just have to go get it for me.
Strength.
Are you two gonna talk yet? Talk! Talk! Damn you! I hate both of you. Meh. Whatever.
I've been expecting you.
Our enemies will fall.
Well, not take that one, because that's the Kirin Tor quests. I do need to take this one, though. Hang on. So this is a shaman. Did you feel it? He momentarily clenches his chest in confusion. The hand comes away trailing hot steam. Something terrible has happened to my old friend, Farseer Grimwalker. I just sensed it. He had a pupil that he took with him when he went north. They were going to help the Overlord establish an outpost on the edge of the Shalazar Basin. Her name is Snarlfang. She's a spirit talker. Maybe she'll know what happened.
Go forth to victory.
Oh, I don't hate Saurfang. Saurfang's
Blood
awesome.
and thunder.
And not just because of the whole cleave meme. He's pretty awesome in general. This guy.
Only the strongest may dwell in Orgrimmar.
Shut up, Garrosh. Alright, whatever. Let's go fix this situation. So, by the way, one little tidbit that some people aren't fully aware of. The Alliance and the Horde came to Northrend, I believe 3 months total. I looked this up, but I don't remember right now. It's over a month, but not, in the range of like a year. So over a month before we got here. That's how the Alliance and the Horde have had a chance to set up things like this and Valiant's Keep for the Alliance, and setting up Valdegard and reinforcing it for the people over in the Fjord, etc., etc. In fact, the Horde and the Alliance technically are going ahead of us and have reached as far as Dragonblight and a little bit into the Grizzly Hills. As I mentioned before, though, that's as far as the Horde and the Alliance got. So by the time we are here, they're already that far, and we'll be catching up to them and then surpassing them because they suck. But anyways. That is true. As what Hylisk says is worthy of note. The Alliance doesn't think the Scourge are a threat, so they underestimate them. The Horde thinks they are incredibly powerful, and therefore underestimates them. It's great.
What is it?
Peons. We might as well post up a sign offering the Nerubar a free meal. See, the problem with peons is that, 1, they're dumber than dirt, and 2, they're weaker than a leper gnome. Of course, they're first to be taken by the Scourge. This puts me into a bit of a predicament. Without peons, manual labor comes to a halt. No peons, no construction. Find and release my peons. If they're alive, you'll find them in the webbing, in the quarry.
Victory for some.
And then you'll yawn. We'll see Garrosh's tactics. I hope I have to show you the cutscene one way or another, just so you can see Garrosh's wonderful tactics. But we'll also be seeing his tactical preference in just a bit here. He's actually going to give us an order, and it'll be the greatest strategy ever devised by mankind. Hannibal could learn a thing or two from him. By the way, I also find it amusing the idea that peons are weak, since theoretically peons would actually be very, very strong. Physically strong, I mean, not in combat. Since they have to build everything. No, what I'm trying to say, Kay, is mankind's greatest strategies have all been generated by orcs. By the way, that peon who we just freed said, "Wyatt keep telling me to put lotion in the basket. Me no like lotion."
Our enemies will fall.
One thing I don't like about this area, pretty much the only thing I don't like about this area, other than this horribleness, the music is really repetitive. Most WoW music is designed to be looped, so you can just keep listening to it for a long period of time. This music is clearly just like a 30-second loop of the drums, and then it stops, and there's like another 30-second loops, and it stops. And so it gets really weird listening to it after a bit. Don't worry, we're not going to be here that much longer. We're going to get through here pretty quickly. Fruit vendor! If you do not move your cart, I will take of your apples and throw them! Ha 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 ha! What will you do now, fruit vendor? Yes, but Saurfang also shares some of the blame, Gnarlox. I agree, Thrall was an idiot in many ways. Thrall kept idealizing his father, that is to say, Grom. And, and he kept just expecting automatically that Garrosh would end up just as awesome as Grom was. And, I mean, obviously it wasn't. The other problem, of course, is Saurfang. We'll actually see this in action in a bit here, but basically, Saurfang is the one actually running this campaign. You think the reason that the Horde are succeeding up in Northrend has anything to do with Garrosh? Yeah, no. Saurfang is the one actually commanding all the forces up here. He is literally allowing Garrosh to take credit for it. And that is Saurfang's fault, because Saurfang probably thinks I don't know what his actual thinking is. Maybe he thinks he's shoring up Garrosh as a leader. Maybe he doesn't want to question him openly. I don't know. Either way, though, he is allowing Garrosh to think that he is a good leader.
Hello.
Most of them made it back. The ones smart enough to know we're inside the big metal and stone building. Anyways, good job well done. I hear you sprung more than a couple peons loose.
Our time will come.
Yeah, probably. If my calculation's correct, and they're often not, you're going to be about 10 to 20 C4ium depth charges. Oh yeah, you're going to be planting these mothers into their sinkholes. North, south, east, and west. These are the locations you should be concerned with. Be very careful with that package. Mishandle it and you'll be dog meat.
Be safe.
No, our dog is our alliance. We'll be fine.
What do you need?
You've slowed them down, but more are sure to join the fight. Were you able to locate any of their egg sacs? Aerial reconnaissance shows that the nerubians are storing eggs on the scaffolding surrounding the base. Smart beasts these are. They're keeping the eggs high and dry. away from the epicenter of the conflict.
Go with honor.
Does that better be?
We are here by orders of Veramothras himself. Really? The mission of the Shadowstalkers is a simple one. Spy. With a little assassination on the side. One of my best field agents has gone missing. I haven't heard from him in days, which has left me fearing the worst. No, not death. Death would be ideal. I fear he may have gone rogue, turned traitor. His last known location was the northern area of the quarry. Find him. He better be dead.
Trust no one.
Also, I agree with what someone just said in chat about how it's very likely that Thrall sent Saurfang up here to try and shore Garrosh up as a leader, general, etc. It just horribly backfired. Honestly, I think Northrend was one of the worst things that could have happened for Garrosh. He came up here, wasted his resources, ruined the Horde economically and militarily, killed his own troops, battering them against the wrong enemies, alliance, and then the Lich King was defeated. I don't think that so a lot of people thought that Garrosh was a war hero for all of his actions in Northrend. I think Garrosh himself thought he was a war hero for his actions in Northrend. Speaking of which, I wonder if he's giving a speech yet. Just poke in here really quick. You talking? Hey, you talking? Nope. Also, they built a statue in here. So Varian and the Alliance are not the only people wasting resources on statues. Look at this thing. This is like a 3-story tall statue of an orc. For the Horde, or whatever. For the wasted resources. Come on, talk. I really want to show off this cutscene. Whatever. Also, just as an aside, despite this massive fortress of doom, which actually looks like it's very well defended, and honestly is very well defensible, it's again an example of how Garrosh is an idiot as a tactician. So the fortress itself is very defensible, yes. Can anyone here tell me why it is that the age of... the first of 2 reasons why the age of castles stopped being? Oh, Saurfang would crush the crap out of Garrosh. Aha! We are surrounded. Our enemies press in from all sides, young Hellscream. I think I missed, like, a line. The Scourge descends like locusts from the north. The Alliance... Okay, so that's the second reason. Everyone's giving me the second reason. I wanted the first reason. The Alliance holds the only secure shipping lane in the region, and even that is in risk of being lost to those dreaded mists. Our only viable port of resupply is being held by the Forsaken on the other side of this blasted continent. Anything our Zemplins cannot haul must be brought in by ship and travel the length of Northrend to reach us. Garrosh grunts. Shipping lanes, supplies, you bore me to death. We need nothing more than the warrior spirit of the Horde. Now that we are firmly entrenched, nothing shall stop us. Siege engines, ammunition, armor. How do you propose to shatter the walls of Icecrown without those? Propose. I will show you what I propose. Bam! There. Now we have a shipping lane. Bam! And just for good measure, So the prodigal son has spoken. Your father's blood runs strong in you, Hellscream. Impatient as always, and reckless. You rush headlong into all-out war without a thought of the consequences. Do not speak to me of consequences, old one. I drank of the same blood your father did, Garrosh. Manaroth's cursed venom pumped through my veins as well. I drove my weapons into the bodies and minds of my enemies. And while Grom died a glorious death, freeing us from the blood curse, he could not wipe away the terrible memory of our past. His act could not erase the horrors we committed. The winter after the curse was lifted, hundreds of veteran orcs like me were lost to despair. Our minds were finally free, yes, free to relive all the unthinkable acts that we had performed under the Legion's influence. It was the sounds of the Draenei children that unnerved most of them. You never forget. Have you ever been to Jaggerswine Varm? When the swine are of age for the slaughter, it's that sound, the sound of swine being killed. It resonates the loudest. Those are the hard times for us older veterans. But surely you cannot think those children were born to innocence. They would have grown up and taken arms against us. I am not speaking solely of the children of our enemies. I won't let you take us down that dark path, young Hellscream. I'll kill you myself before that day comes. How have you managed to survive for so long, Saurfang, not victim to your own memories? I don't eat pork. So, just to rehash here, Garrosh is totally okay with killing children, as long as they're the enemy children, and his solution for not having supply lines, and having low resources, and having low arms and munitions and materials, is to turn all of his forces to go and kill the Alliance forces there, and, I quote, for good measure, kill the Alliance over here as well. That way they'd have a port. That solves the problem, right? And that right there is Garrosh Hellscream's tactical acumen in a nutshell. Let me make one thing clear. Garrosh was never my war chief. I should have bought one of the shirts. It doesn't get much deader than this. Strangely, the Nerubians did not devour the corpse. After careful examination, you see his death was self-inflicted. Deadly poison. Smart. The Nerubians won't come near his corpse. You notice he's holding a journal. You skim through the pages of the book looking for anything of importance. On the last page, you appear to be what appears to be frantic scribbling. Necrolords, at least a dozen by my count. Farms to the west being used as some sort of horrible spawning glade for the Scourge. Row upon row of victims. I think they're on to me. I'm making a dash for the hold. I won't be captured alive. Dread venom and hemotoxin. If they try to bite into me, it'll be a surprise. Take this information back to Barthas. I'm not sure, Psychotic. I've heard both interpretations of that. Either Saurfang is forever haunted by what he did, and therefore no longer does that because, you know, I mean, duh, right? He doesn't eat pork, so he doesn't want to be reminded of it. Or, he never did it back in the time. Holy crap. Honestly, I think the only reason Saurfang didn't kill Garrosh, excuse me, was because they wanted us to do it, the players. I mean, Saurfang was more than capable of fighting his way down into the Underhold. We see him in the Siege of Orgrimmar, so... Good night, Progue. That should be about right. Oh, damn, I missed! Ah, well. I failed. One more chance to go flying. There it is. I could concoct an in-lore reason why Saurfang didn't kill Garrosh. And I could. It's actually the same reason Thrall didn't immediately go after him. Hey, Shazad. For those of you not aware, Garrosh, for all his horribleness, was actually quite popular. Do I have a role model? Yes, I do.
Loktar.
That'll stop them. At least I think it'll stop them. Either way, you've done your part, and that's all an orc can ask for, am I right?
May your blades never dull. Strength and
They just
honor.
keep coming, despite our best efforts. Something's gotta give. Ding. You're a tough mother, Falfaxis. I think your talents are better suited elsewhere. Like the root of the whole damn problem. 1,000 Scourge, at least 4 full-sliced floating death machines, and God knows what else. But you're gonna find it, and you're gonna handle it. That's right, you're gonna beat the hell out of the Scourge army that's currently beating down our door. Okay, I think I can do
Go
that.
forth to victory.
Oh, I won't be answering that question, Shazad. Take this to Hellscream at once. In the meantime, I'm going to send a team to the farms. Be sure to tell Hellscream we're going to need reinforcements. just keep that line in mind, okay? So, for those of you not aware, Garrosh was popular, and I've discussed the reasons why, but the point is there are a large number of orcs who actively agreed with him and agreed with his tactics, agreed with his philosophy. So, if Saurfang had just walked in and killed Garrosh, it wouldn't have actually stopped the problem. I know this sounds really, really horrible, but I think the orcs actually needed the purging that they got. All of those orcs that were loyal to Garrosh needed to die, so that we could have less of those warmongering idiots in our horde. And I think to some extent or another, Saurfang knew that. We know Thrall knew that. During the event, which unfortunately I can't show you because it isn't active anymore. Yes, I do, Psychotic. During the event, Thrall actually was like, I must go and kill Garrosh. But then he finds out what's going on, and he finds out that there's a large number of orcs supporting him, and he's like, well, I don't know what to do about this now. My own people agree with Garrosh's mindset. So I no longer actually have the right to lead them because they don't agree with me. They actively don't... They actively want something that I don't represent. So I would just be a conquering force, forcing those people to do something they don't want to do. So I can't just go kill Garrosh. We have to actually... and so it's this whole new problem all of a sudden, you know? Anyways, moving on.
Live by these words. Loktar Ogar. Victory or death.
Good night, Fuke. So, so this is another example of Garrosh's tactical strategies here. What is the meaning of this interruption? Do not burden me with nonsense. Is that all? You may not have noticed we're trying to win a war here. I need all available soldiers at the primary points of conflict. That means we don't have any real soldiers to spare for these minor incursions. If Barthas wants reinforcements, he shall have them. Report to the assassins and let them know the reinforcements have arrived. Let me restate that in case you missed it. Garrosh is so concerned with his primary war effort, which I want to remind you also is about him trying to go after the Alliance, that he thinks that this, over here, this massive swarm of the Scourge over here, you can't even see them all, they're not even rendering all. He thinks that this is a minor incursion. That this is a distraction from his real war efforts. Whoa, there, Kel'Thuzad. I wasn't coming after you. I am Arthas, don't worry. I was actually there, playing when that happened. I did the Battle for Undersea on every character I had. But yeah, that's how stupid he is. And then, when asked for reinforcements to go after this particular area, he sends one guy. Now, this is again kind of indicative of the situation that they're in, because this worked out because it was us, the player character. If it wasn't for the fact that it was us, he would have just lost the Borean Tundra. So that's two people. So this is another reason, by the way, why Zalash, my character, was so distraught over the Garrosh situation. Because he really is our fault. Thrall takes some blame, absolutely. Saurfang takes some blame, absolutely. But we're the ones who enabled him. We took care of him in Outland, and we succeeded for him in Northrend, and he took all the credit for both of those actions. We made Garrosh into what he is in more ways than one. The player characters, we did that. Not that I'm trying to excuse him. Garrosh is an unremittent bastard who deserves to be treated like the idiot that he is. But I said it before and I said it again, Garrosh would probably have been a much better of an overall person if he wasn't shoved into a position of command and then told that his terrible tactics are winning constantly. You know?
What now?
This is it? Hellscream sent a single Blood Elf girl? If I still had a jaw, I'd be on the floor right now. According to Luther's notes, the Scourge is now using this place as a breeding ground against those monsters you see lumbering across the field. Those monsters were once orcs in Tauren. We need more information before a plan can be devised. I want you to investigate 3 sites that are heavily trafficked by the Scourge.
Remember, patience.
That's true, Zygotic.
Speak quickly.
The soldiers they didn't kill are being held in cages across this farmland. Through some thievery, we've managed to find a few keys, but we're unable to get close enough to the prisoners without being attacked. We need your talents in securing those keys and freeing the prisoners.
Dark Lady, watch over.
What do you need?
Just look at them. My beautiful Kodos are helpless to defend themselves against those filthy swine. I need you to buy me some time, Blood Elf. I think I could cure the Kodo, but you need to keep the unliving swine off them, or else there'll be nothing left to cure.
For the Horde.
Now, Varian did used to be a complete moron. It's funny, because Varian and Garrosh actually have a lot in common. Both of them were warmongering idiots. The difference is, Garrosh got worse over time. Varian got better over time. And I think that has a lot to do with the people around them, you know? I think it has a lot to do with those who supported them and were there both for and against them, you know? Just my take on it. Yeah. And ironically, Jaina actually helped him quite a bit too, I imagine. Remember, at this point in history, Varian is totally okay with us being consumed by the old gods, because screw the Horde. And refuse to help against the old gods, because screw the Horde. Yeah, Onyxia really didn't help with the Varian situation. Although, at least part of that is also still Varian's fault. The real problem, if you really dig back into the old history of Varian Wrynn, he was never king material. And I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean he never should have been in that position to rule. You know what I mean? I'm kind of reminded of Kalen over in Dragon Age. A decent guy, but a terrible king. And that was part of the problem. And so a lot of bad things happened even early on that led up to the events that led to Onyxia taking more and more power, that finally led to the Defias Revolt, and that pretty much set off the final domino, which basically screwed Varian over completely from that point onwards. So... That is true, Darth Spectators. That is true. I think he would make a good general, absolutely. He does have a lot of tactical skill, and he does have a good charisma for his troops. But he is not a politician. We've actually already talked about that. It's one of the reasons why the Alliance is doing so poorly in Northrend, is because he doesn't know how to do infrastructure or backing or any other, political leadership maneuvers. And again, we will see the consequences of that when we get to Kata. Because, yeah. Here there be consequences, as the saying goes. Where is that, Deacon? Raid leader. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I've been a raid leader for many years, and I would never want that job again. Ugh. See you around, Drago. Come on, give me the credit. There you go. By the way, this always kind of horrifies me. So these Kodo are infested, right? Or infected, I should say. But they are so infected that they... I'm trying to find an actual example. They will literally sit there and let the boars eat them. Can you imagine what's it like? Here, right here. There's a boar just eating on that Kodo. Can you imagine what it's... And that Kodo's alive, by the way. Can you imagine being so lethargic, so incapable of moving, so diseased, that while something is eating you alive, all you can do is lay there and accept it? Something about that has just always horrified me. Ah, Uther. He would have been a king. Holy crap. Uther. I would have voted for Uther.
I'm listening.
This is far worse than everything in Luther's journal. They've got his place covered in Scourge and are infecting everything they touch. It gets worse, if you can imagine such a thing. The Scourge's agent that's overseeing the abduction and transformation of Horde soldiers into undead monsters is using the farm as a spawning glade. Gary has been stalking out that monster for the past week and has gathered some vital information that might allow us to end this menace. Head to Getry and see if you can help him. Okay.
Goodbye.
I'll get to that in just a second, though.
What now?
Each prisoner is saved as one less undead aberration we have to deal with. You're doing a great service for the Horde.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Trollhall.
Oh, I think I've got it, Blood Elf. Take this riding snaffle. You'll notice I've placed a tiny medicine dispenser in the mouthpiece. That thing should cure these infections as soon as the Kodo bites down. Once you've cured the sick out of them, you'll have to ride them home. Bring my babies back, Valvaxis.
Go forth to victory.
And yeah, Stomp. Door-to-door Kodo delivery. I'm right here. There we go. King Tyrannus. King Tyrannus was a good king. Let's be honest with this. King Tyrannus got the alliance together and kept it together. And if that doesn't sound impressive, you have no idea how much infighting and backbiting and general just internecine garbage was happening in the old alliance. It was bad back then. That man was amazing for managing to pull that off. And then he got stabbed in the chest by his son. Or rather, not actually by his son, but you know what I mean. Someone wearing his son's body. That's still not accurate. Whatever. Someone who looked like his son. There we go, that's more accurate. Stabbed him in the chest. And by in the chest, I mean basically right through the neck, actually. You know, now that I think about it, I'm not sure there really is any one individual who is currently alive and active who would make a really good king for the Alliance. For the Stormwind, specifically, I should say. I support Anduin, of course, but Anduin is a peacetime leader. And a great one. He's intelligent, he's high-minded, he knows how to think long-term, he knows how to make alliances. He would make an excellent peacetime leader, but Anduin just does not know how to fight a war. And this is Warcraft. As much as I constantly talk about peace and cooperation, because it's me, this is still Warcraft. And even if all of the Alliance and all of the Horde united, there would still be wars to be fought. It would just be against other things, you know? I don't think Jaina would make a good queen, personally. In fact, I really, really don't think Jaina would make a good queen. And I'm struggling to come up with anyone else who would actually qualify other than her. I actually agree, Hylisk. I really do. Arthas would have been an amazing king. Ironically. You're a true hero, Valvaxis. My Kodas would have died without you. Thanks to the soldiers and journeymen, and all the thanks, my thanks and all the thanks of the soldiers and journeymen that will use these Kodas to strengthen our presence in Northrend.
Strength.
Alright, so time to see the fruits of Garrosh's strategizing. I agree. Old Jaina would have been a pretty good queen. I would have actually supported the Jaina that didn't snap. Make it clear, I'm not calling her any names. I'm not saying her being snapped doesn't make sense. In fact, I loved it, and it was a really well-written storyline, in my opinion. But she did snap, and she is very biased now. And a biased queen is not something we need. We've already had those. You know? Okay, you want some nightmare fuel, guys? You want some really wonderful nightmare fuel? See these? Well, if you've been paying attention in the quests so far, we've been going out here to the farms in order to free people. These are people. I'm going to say that one more time just to make sure you really get it. These are people.
Hello.
This is all Icarus could send.
Remember.
This is madness. How do they expect us to take on a Necrolord and an unknown number of his minions? If Icarus sent you, he must think you're capable of great feats. Maybe he'll call down a miracle, huh? When you're ready, we'll go face him.
Our time will come.
Let's go ahead and go die. This is a farm, okay? We're farming people. And by we, I mean they. They are farming people. You gotta get reinforcements somehow in the Scourge. Also, what's about to happen is probably one of my favorite speeches in Northrend. I mean that sincerely. Both sides of the argument, I should say. So there's Necromancer, who we're about to go confront by ourselves. Is this it? Is this all the mighty Horde could muster? Pathetic. We're trapped, by the way. I can't move. I've never understood your type. The hero. Why don't you just let go? Why do you fight the inevitable? The Lich King cannot be stopped. Accept it. The world is coming to an end. Let it burn. Take her away. Prepare her for reanimation. I'll rip your shriveled hide art with my bare hands before any harm comes to Valvaxis, Necromancer. You were never alone. This world you seek to destroy is our home. We will fight you with every fiber of our being until we are nothing more than dust and debris. We will fight until the end. Then you are a fool. A fool who is about to end you, Necrolord. There will be nothing left of you for the Lich King to reanimate. You, a lone orc, against me and... that. Yes, that is why Saurfang is a badass. A very apt demonstration. Oops. I can't believe it. Saurfang, I'm honored. Honored to have fought at your side, sir. That's a Forsaken saying that, by the way. You should return to Warsong Hold now, friend. Hellscream will want to hear of what just happened here. Of Saurfang. You will make no mention of me. Either of you. Okay. Yeah, Saurfang is concentrated awesome, I think is a good way to put it. Try to remember, though, if not for Saurfang, we still would have just died, okay? That's really important. We still lost that encounter. Let's just go ahead and grab that to make sure I don't forget it. Even as the PC. I kind of mentioned that because that's pretty important. So once again, Garrosh sees that his tactic of sending one guy out was actually a strong tactic. And just to really twist the knife there on that one.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
And you returned victorious, just as I thought. I told Saurfang you'd be fine. Perhaps this will show the old dog he doesn't have all the answers, huh? While you have done much to secure our foothold in these frozen wastes, other dangers still lurk in the shadows. I want you to assist Warden Nock Blood Frenzy, stationed at the internment camp just outside. Seek him out and offer your assistance for prisoner transport in exchange. You are dismissed. Correct, Magister. As of this point in history, Saurfang is definitely stronger than the PC. I just realized why I hadn't had that quest yet.
How you doing, man?
Aye, man. I've been expecting you. Take a peek. Across that tundra be death, man. Death. Tanks, man. I be talking about siege machines. We got heavy tanks stationed at Garrosh's landing on the west coast. We gonna get you the tank, and you're gonna use the tank to lay down some Horde justice on the Scourge. The only tricky part being getting you there. No way we risk you on our Wind Riders. Too risky. You see that pixie over there? That blondie elf? Yanni be his name, man. He could get you to the coast safely. Once there, talk to Gorge the Corpse Grinder.
Stay away from the voodoo.
So let's talk to the pixie.
Our enemies will fall.
We've lost a good many of our Wind Riders on scouting missions to the west. The Scourge is ruthless in their assault against any would-be spies. Fortunately, I've come up with a solution that only risks the life of the rider. It's seen a 30% survival rate. That's a 30% improvement from before.
Keep your wits.
Alright, send me off! Wee. Favorite old god? Ooh. We've only really met 4, and one of them we've never actually met. And yeah, Kel'Thuzad is still just hanging out there. I really wish that zone would load properly. Something about it renders wrong. There's a whole army of Scourge there, but they never all render at the same time. It's kind of messed up. Might be a layering issue. I'm not actually sure. Anyways. Favorite old god. I don't know. Yogg-Saron is quite a bit of a favorite, even though his storyline was cut off a bit. Hello? Hello? I'm actually debating that myself, Psychotic, because I gotta get going. Oh, there we go, we're free. I might wait, because this is a whole arc, and I'd really like to talk about the Kvaldir in full depth. And this is where I'm going to be talking about the Kvaldir, by the way, during these quests. Then we're going to do the charge against the Scourge, then we're going to do these quests up here, and these quests up here, and that's it. You know, we've only got the 3 zones, the 3 hubs as Horde. So I think we'll go ahead and cut off now, and we'll finish up the Kvaldir and the rest of the Borean Tundra tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early at 5 in the morning. No, the usual time. See you guys.